And just like that, we are live. What is going on, Internet? It is just me. I'm writing solo today, but I have everybody here in chat that's going to be with me. For the uninitiated, this is OnlyCops. And here we go and we look at, on our Tuesday stream specifically, we look at police adjacent stuff. And so you'll see anything from recruiting videos to random news stories. Sometimes we also get follow-ups on pretty big news stories. So I want to thank everybody, specifically in my vigilante group, for once again, for another week, putting together a lot of time, energy, and effort to make sure that this show is entertaining and filled with stuff. They are supplied by videos from our Patreon group. Everybody that's either a member here on YouTube or part of our Patreon group, for as little as $1 a month, it gives you direct access to our Discord, which is a really fun place for the most part for everybody that's here. Snack is saying lies that I'm late. I am actually on time. I know this because I see it. So we are going to take a hunk of flesh. You guys can thank Snack for that. But I will give my hellos. Brave Django was according to the chat first, so I did give it to him. We are also doing a scorecard for those of you that are new here. Basically, we have a year-long scorecard. We started this last year. Just to see how people are doing. Somehow, municipals or municipal police have somehow dug themselves out of the depths of hell. That was our score recently. Deputies or deputies are also in the positive, but state boys have been taking some L's. So we'll go ahead and put some love out there for them. Chat is doing pretty good. Our chat goal for likes for this stream specifically is 110. If we get to that like threshold, I will give chat 75 points. Sometimes they also make me chuckle or provide a follow-up in here or maybe context that we don't see in the YouTube videos. Midwest Safety, I'm looking at you. And then we have a bunch of other fun categories just because we get to do stuff like that. So I'm going to give my thank yous. You guys can fast forward. If you're fast forwarding, just wait till you see a screen like this, and that's how you know I've gotten started at the videos. But at the beginning, I always try to thank everybody that's actually here in chat. So Brave Django was first. Christy C was the first mod. It is good to see you. Cody Smalls, Jordan, it was good to see you as well. Christian Halsey, welcome back, brother. Tyler Stevens, my boy, here early, laid up after foot surgery. God bless you, brother. You're putting in more energy and effort than I am. Zachy boy, don't pick up the phone or whose name gets better every week. Peacekeeper Chris, John Norton. That sounds like a good strong name. If you feel like you're like the protagonist of a like a Tom Clancy novel or something. I'm staying hydrated, so if Sam gets to see that drink of water, he'll get to appreciate that. RJ, caffeinated LD, very, very good. Name there, Notorious Emu, about as good at counting as I am at spelling. Snack, I've already said hi to you. I've already taken my pound of flesh for your complaint. Scrolling. The Dan Hammer, welcome Dan, our friend from Down Under, is here and also a mod. I'm scrolling. I think I said hi to Jordan. Brian Minor, it is very good to see you, brother. Garrett, Custodes, as I call him. Robert Carson, Brian A. Andrea, welcome. Carter, Rosh. You're going to have to help me on that last one. Spell that out for me phonetically. Rira, maybe? Help me with that spelling as well. Or with that enunciation, should I say. Oh my God, he was incredibly on time, Katie. Katie's going to go ahead and lose you guys a pound of flesh for complaints. Producer Juan is saying he's late. So actually, you know what? I'm going to give points to media for accountability. I respect that. Let's see. Ferrari Raptor or Ferrer Raptor. It's good to see you, brother. Mighty Dork, John C. I think I said hi to Brian A. and Little Duck. Oh, it just jumped for me real quick. Hold on, I gotta scroll. Abs, Shawshank, Sam. He's hi there, good looking. Hopefully he saw my drink of water. Sarah, it is also wonderful to see you. Link quilts. Maybe that's my best stab at that one. Chris Strutton. He says, can you move the mic closer to your face? This is as close as I can move it to my face. But if I'm quiet, let me know. That's maybe like for those of you that are in mono. I can look at my levels here. I did turn up my levels recently. So unless there's something weird going on. Says Joshua, check your phone. Okay, hold on. Checking my phone. Looking for you in Discord. He's in the movie chat. Okay, hold on. Stand by. Stand by. Oh, he's somewhere far. Where'd he go? I did not see him in movie chat. Tell him to pop back in. He's got a couple minutes here. Look at your phone. You'll need to chill. William, I'm saying hello. Sarah super chatting. He said almost there. Can't catch a break. I'm trying. You got my name right. Rarish. Rarsh? I'm here for it, Carter. Buxom Badger, it is good to see you. He said he needs to chill. Andrew Sawyer, it's good to see you. I'm quiet-ish. This is as close as this is getting, brother. I have a taller stand, I guess. I can try that. I think I said hi to everybody. Sam, one of these days you'll be this close to my face. And Little Duck said is usually pretty quiet on stream. I'm doing my best. When I'm turning facing this way, it's easier because I have the mic like set up for me here. But when I turn away from it, I'm like talking away from the mic, and that might be half of it. When will On Call come out? Christian Halsey, you know what? That's a valid question, so I'm not going to take points. And you don't know how to say my name, do you? I'm going to call you Mustang, is what I'm going to say here. You're fine. He needs to turn up his headphones. William, blessed. Okay, this is the part where we're going to go. I'm going to see if I can find Rufus again. I have yet to see him in any voice channel. Oh, there's Snack on the voice. He's not in anything. You guys have all made this up. I do not see him at all. You can tell him to get into a chat, and I will pull him in. But he needs to be in a chat for me to pull him. So that's on y'all. So we're going to get started here. This is a brawl in the courtroom. So this is going to be for deputies likely. We typically at the municipal level don't have officers. They're basically bailiffs in America. That's what they're referred to as. It's typically not a municipal thing, maybe in smaller departments, or I've seen reserve officers do this before, but it's really rare. You'll get full-time municipal officers that'll do this, so the county boys can go tell me if this is kosher or not.
The video shows Alexander Ortiz in the orange jumpsuit, accused of killing his ex-girlfriend, Aliana Farfan, standing before a district judge in Albuquerque when Farfan's uncle, Carlos Lucero, barrels over the partition, along with another man, Pete Yasasi, attacking Ortiz. The defendant's father joining the melee until, finally, the corrections officer trying to shield the defendant draws their taser. Heavily armed deputies storming the courtroom, arresting the attackers a full minute after the attack began. The men were treated at the hospital and released. They're due back in court next month. According to court documents, after the attack, Lucero told deputies it was worth every moment, and he killed my niece like a coward. The incident raising questions about courtroom security and reminiscent of this moment in a Las Vegas courtroom last year, when a man flew over the bench and attacked a judge. That man was sentenced to decades in prison.
The hearing for Ortiz has been reset for next week, and they've already asked for extra security for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a deputy, so he said heavily armed snake. Oh my goodness. Who's that diva? I have no idea. Any chance Only Cops react to Old Cops episode? Maybe. I don't know. See, courtroom security's kind of similar to like school security. The only downside is like a lot of people think to themselves when something bad happens anywhere, for that instance, the immediate reaction, right? Like, let's go ahead and up our security. This happens to a lot of people. In America, at least, it's really unique. The way that we look at the Second Amendment, right? That like a lot of people won't purchase a gun if they don't have an inclination to until something bad happens. Then they typically buy it because they don't want to get victimized again. Same thing with like securing your doors or whatever it is. And so normally in the courtroom, they typically, worst case scenarios, you have somebody being belligerent. And in that case, they don't really fight anybody or assault anybody. The second something does happen, the question always comes up of it's the typical like corporate response of how do we avoid this in the future? And you could separate it. Like if you ever look at like old British like courtroom dramas, they actually had just like a case they used to stick the defendant in. It was kind of cool. And everything was rather partitioned. And so it would be hard. There's like a lot of obstacles to get in the way of either the judge or the, I'm trying to think of the movie right off the top of my head that I'm thinking of, that it was a very famous British courtroom drama. And their setup was pretty trick because you would have to break glass to basically get to the defendant. You do owe it to the defendant, regardless of how heinous the crime is. They do have a constitutional right to the trial and the presumption of innocence until they can be found guilty either by a jury of their peers or by a judge, right? So I do think that they have to do something. I think it's important, but I think it's a deputaz. So we'll take let's take some points from deputaz. I'm not going to take a lot because they eventually got to it, and then we'll go ahead and I'm going to give some points to society for being based. Russia has a cage. Yeah, that kind of makes a little bit more sense. I'm going to see if Rufus figured it out. Let's see if he got himself in a thing that I can pull him into. I do not see Rufus. Antonio. A cage like around the judge? Probably. I could see that. Or even just kind of what they use in like banks, just like plexiglass. I don't even know that I'd do a cage, just plexiglass. Courtroom should be like the movie 300. That'd be kind of incredible. Where the prisoner sits, I would say both. I think both would be appropriate. See if I missed anything in the chat. I don't think I did. Okay, we'll keep going. What is this?
Mars, why can't I find you? Why have you
I know you're recording. It's cool.
Put the fries in the bag, buddy. Put the fries in the bag.
Grinch gave me a ticket for singing.
I didn't mean to make you upset.
You didn't make me upset. You're being
No, it's all. I didn't mean to make you upset. Sure.
That's weak.
You didn't like my Christmas Carol? Are you naughty?
And you're still going.
There's someone recording me. It's a fan. I'm not allowed to interact with a fan.
You're still being disorderly.
That's disorderly.
You're a fan of. I don't even know who you are.
Oh, this is dumb. This is a petty citation. This is my people. I'm going to take 10. I hate this citation. If it's like maybe a library, you could maybe articulate disorderly, but like, I don't know, dog. Make the judge look like Mr. House and Full. That was pretty good. I hate that I get that reference, but that's pretty good. I'm going to take some points from society because I think just harassing cops is a big waste of time and kind of stupid. I'm also going to take some points from media because they're the ones that created that animal. But I do think that was a very weak ticket. Like, I get being annoyed, and like I've been part of the petty police from time to time, but that's pretty, like, you got other things going on. It's a big mall. There's other people making more noise. He's not doing something unreasonable by singing. They likely have music playing in the mall. Your articulation was, I didn't like his singing's pretty soft. Let me see. My phone is just buzzing. Looking for you in Discord. He says he's in movie night chat. Yes, but he's not in a voice channel. He needs to be in a voice channel. Sarah, I cannot help him if he's... Oh, there he is. Hold on, stand by. I've almost got him moved. Almost got him moved. I just got to jump him a couple more. And he's here. I made it work. Stand by.
That means that they're to act like thunder.
Are we there?
We made it. Hold on. I'm adjusting some stuff, but you did indeed make it. Welcome.
Welcome. I'm glad to be here.
My fellow city police officer. I love it.
I was about to tell my niece, get off my lawn. I'm too old for this.
My lawn. He's on the old man status. He's our fellow old man. Would you like to introduce yourself really, really quickly while I move on and continue to take points?
Yes, I'm the fellow old man, and it's my history month going on right now. So let me see.
Are you absolving yourself of problematic comments? Hey, it's my history month, so I can say what I want.
Exactly. I have, what do they call it? Immunity.
Yes, you have qualified immunity on social subjects currently.
Exact.
Social qualified immunity. Do you have my stream? Can you see it? Where you click on,
I think
it says watch stream. You should be able to click it and then see what I'm looking at so that you can see what they're seeing.
Yes. Actually, my iPad, I do have one of those, is actually looking like it wants to die, so I'm going to plug it in right here.
Perfect.
If I learn how to do that. My wife's like, you're going to talk to them instead of watching basketball? Who are these people?
It was early, but or was this college, or is this is NBA currently started?
Yeah, well, I live in LA basically, and Luca just started.
Oh,
so.
dude, I know. Being from Dallas, I remember seeing the news for that, and I was like, I'm not that invested in basketball, but like, that was a dumb move. Like,
I thought it was a lie. I flat out said they're lying. Didn't even look at it again because I thought it was just somebody trolling. Exactly, and then I went, what?
And he's so young still. Like, he probably has a good 5 to 10 very good years in him if he's motivated.
Oh, easily. They were calling him the Pillsbury Doughboy because they're trying to.
Hey, he likes food. Okay, he's spending some time here in Texas.
He led the league.
He did.
He led the league in scoring, and he doesn't have a cousin named Janiqua. He's the white boy, and they should just let it go. It's just crazy.
That's true. So this is you're able to see like this little news.
I see something that says watch stream.
Yes,
yeah,
click that.
Okay. All right. I see you in the right corner, and I see news at 6.
Perfect. You're able to see what I'm seeing. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, this is titled Employment History of an Officer Involved in Dementia Patients Arrested.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I sent that to Sarah, too.
Oh, okay. So this is already, that this is Ceci. I haven't seen this yet. Also, this lady's got, they both have iPads. Look at this.
More tonight about the Danville officer accused of using excessive force against a man living with dementia.
LEX 18 was the first to report about the...
So I'm gonna start off right off the bat. Is dementia one of the most depressing things you'll ever interact with? Yes.
Yes.
But
we'll deal with it now, yeah.
Yeah, and I will big asterisk this. Just because they're older and have dementia does not mean they cannot be combative. That I will say. So I'm not going to act like I've never gone hands-on with a dementia patient before, but typically there's like a bell curve, right, for most people where like infants really aren't like a credible threat, even if they were armed or something, right? And it starts to ramp up as they get older. Generally, kids, even in today's day and age where I swear they're giving kids like steroids, it's not up until about 13 to 14 years old that like kids start to become like, gonna treat you a little bit more like an adult. Obviously, there's all of your late teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, kind of on the back end. And the only downside to dementia patients is depending on genetics and depending on like if they were exposed to environmentals, dementia can start as early as like 50 something.
Yeah, I've had it dealt with that before. Yeah. And personally, I've dealt with it. And I might be one within the next 5 or 6 years. Who knows?
So someone's going to get combative with you eventually, right?
Exactly. But it's not only are they combative, it's almost it makes them combative. So they can.
That's what I was going to say. I have showed up on a medical call. Fire showed up to a medical call with a dementia patient. And he basically had a fit in the middle of it because he was talking to one person, got up to go to the bathroom and came out and just saw a bunch of people in his house. And he had like a full-on freak out. And he was still pretty able-bodied. So he's trying to arm himself to fight fire, basically. And so fire had to clear. We had to show up. And he's like, I didn't call you. Why are you here? And I'm like, point. You didn't. Dementia or not, you didn't. But like we had to talk the guy down, and the whole thing was I was like I had to be prepared that in case he got like super combative to go and address it. But that's the only thing I'll say. Like I get the story right off the bat. It's like, oh, fights dementia patient. I was like, that's probably a lot more common than you realize, just because the nature of the illness can be complicated. Just like somebody with autism, or just like somebody, the second you're going away from I'm able to rationally and reasonably look at stuff. And determine reasonably what's going on. Now that also deteriorates the knowingly and intentionally part of any criminal offense you're going to try to charge them with. If it's documented, how do they reasonably or knowingly and intentionally do something, right? Because they're not given their brains aren't operating the same way ours are, so you can't exactly judge them for that.
But it's also like real estate. It's location.
True. That is very, very true.
So if words are going to kick your ass unless they yell the N-word, then they might get killed. But you don't have to worry about them just being upset.
Right.
If they're in any kind of situation, environment where there's nothing there that can hurt you, you deal with them differently.
Yeah.
The arrest of 66-year-old John Hardwick. Police charged him with shoplifting and public intoxication from the October incident. Hardwick attempted to buy beer but forgot his license. When police showed up, body camera video showed Hardwick being taken to the ground, handcuffed, and punched.
A judge dropped the charges against Hardwick back on January 22nd. Since then, LEX 18 has obtained body cam footage of what happened outside the store and from inside the hospital where Hardwick was admitted. Some in Danville, the community, were so disturbed by this arrest, they began a petition calling for one of the officers involved to be fired.
LEX 18's Kaylee Randall has been covering this story for weeks now. She returned.
The incident between 3 Danville police officers and a man with dementia who was arrested and taken to the ground for alleged shoplifting at Danville Walmart. 66-year-old John Hardwick, who has frontal temporal.
So, not saying the guy's not got dementia, not saying they didn't go, but when they went hands-on, the strikes were to the abdomen, not the face. The face I could have seen being a little bit more heinous, especially if he's not armed. But to my memory, prior to like jiu-jitsu and all this new stuff, impacts to gain compliance, at least for pain compliance, was considered within the scope of training to try to get somebody that's resisting arrest into handcuffs.
Right.
That's not my generation, but I do know that ASP training, or as we called it, ASS training, and then conversely, like the even if it wasn't with, like, let's just say, for instance, I don't have a good angle to do a leverage-based technique, a knee strike, a punch, an elbow strike, as long as it wasn't somewhere like critical. If someone's not being assaultive with me, they're just simply resisting, but they're not helping me. It's active resistance. You could do a punch or a kick. I wouldn't have wanted to, or a knee strike, not necessarily a kick, but like a knee strike. That initially, this part here, and I'm going to mute this for a second so I don't have to listen to what they're saying here. But this part here, as far as them taking him to the ground, so he's there in a, 3 guys should have been able to get this guy into a handcuffing position, but that's a different conversation. But like, he's not...
Actually, that's the same conversation, because that's what I was going to get into. Where I come from, we try to keep as little, unless you got your ego going and whatever. If you have two, I see you get him down as much as you can. You might have to hit him there, but if there's three of you, you must be weak. You must be weak if you can't pit a guy up. Make sure his legs are secured and he's flat down, and you put his hands behind his back. If you can't do that with three, then you haven't been trained well.
I was going to say that's the only thing that I think, had it just been two, or you take it even a step further, if it's just one officer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Him getting leg swept in the next week to get him into custody, like he's clearly big enough or well enough, at least physically, to pose a reasonable threat. The shoplifting part of it, I'd be curious to see what the articulation portion of that is. Especially the PI would be hard.
But even then, do you really handcuff? You're right about the whole thing. That's what's going to come in, I'm pretty sure, a little later. Yeah. And at the end, what the cops did makes it even worse.
Okay, so I was going to say, at least the initial contact, the problem is what? The three officers not being able to do it's kind of ridiculous. And the punches by themselves isn't the problem. It's that it required that much force given how much control you should have been able to put on this person. And there is some reasonableness in that, like, even though this gentleman's relatively large, here's that double-edged sword of a lot of people will criticize. And the joke is with women in law enforcement, they're the most likely to use deadly force with you because they're typically smaller. And so you might pose a bigger threat to them. Conversely, with men, the bigger you are as a man, the same question's going to come up with, did I have to use that much force as a grown man, especially if there's three grown men there, on somebody, because did they pose that much of it? It's a very interesting double-edged sword.
Yeah, there was a little bit more to it, Josh. He was there with his wife. His wife was there as well. But she wasn't next to him. She's around the corner, and he doesn't hear all this that's going on.
Oh, okay. That makes it way worse.
Hardwick, who has frontal temporal dementia, was arrested back in October on several charges, such as shoplifting, public intoxication, and resisting arrest.
I wonder how they got criminal trespass, unless he was... How'd you get that? Hold on.
Well, they told him you should leave if he got mad. He didn't leave because his wife was there.
Sure.
So they needed to make it sound good, because here you're handcuffing a big white guy that has dementia. He's 66 years old. You better add as much crap as you can.
Yeah, because they went and threw him to the ground and punched him and all that. Because that would have been, regardless of what department you're from, it would have been a use of force report. But like, that's
for shoplifting, for a misdemeanor.
I was gonna say, this is normally, especially if it's a first offense, for some beer, it's gonna be like a ticket at best. Like it's
and they needed to look at his ID. For what? Did he look over 18, 21?
That's
so
true.
That's PC because he didn't have his ID. Am I missing something?
So did staff, I guess, ask for the ID, didn't see it, so they didn't want to sell it to him?
Exactly. That was
that's so much worse. Oh my god! So staff called because he didn't have an ID.
Yeah, and he insisted he wanted to buy it, and they're like, "Well, you don't have ID," and he gets belligerent because he's got dementia.
Yeah. Oh, that's way worse.
On January 22nd, all charges were dismissed with prejudice. Since then, I have been looking deeper into not just the case itself, but Danville police officer TJ Godby, who was seen on Walmart security video taking Hardwick to the ground and hitting him 6 times. A week and a half ago, I requested Godby's personal files from both the Stanford and Danville police departments. Here's what I found. From April 2019 until August 2024, Godby was employed as an officer at Stanford Police Department. In the file, Godby is spoken highly of and considered an exemplary employee in good standing. Only 8 months into the job, Godby was awarded Officer of the Year and received that award again in 2021. In 2020,
this must be like a department of like 4 officers. Somebody getting it once. I knew incredible police officers. I'm talking like saved 4 people's lives in a year. Wow. Got an OIS, doing a bunch of, and they don't care about these kind of accolades, but like they would have like a John Nolan, very Hollywood year, because they're on like a Heat team, or they're like getting after it, like is a very active like officer. and wouldn't even look at them for this kind of stuff. But I was, again, like
I once asked a supervisor about that because they gave somebody an award for standing out in the heat for 8 hours at a fatal, and I had like 2 robbery arrests. Anyway, I go, so am I gonna get little accolades? He goes, Takesley, do you get paid twice a month?
Oh, go, this guy.
Well, you got your 2. I never said another word.
That literally made an admin skit one time about like, you want recognition? I'm sorry, are you here for free? I didn't know you were volunteering here, good sir. I've gotten that speech before.
Godby received
and you know what? I got it once. That was the last time I got it.
Preservation of Life Award for his outstanding police performance. In the same year, he was awarded the Medal of Valor for engaging in a pursuit involving an act of kidnapping.
Okay.
The document says Godby's actions during the pursuit likely saved the lives of the female victim as well as his fellow officers of Stanford PD and Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. It reads his bravery is commended and respected. Fast forward to August 2024. Godby accepted a position with the Danville Police Department, where he works at now. In a recommendation letter we obtained, Godby is spoken of highly by the Stanford Chief of Police and is believed he can make an immediate positive impact on the community. His file does not list any complaints or negative reviews from his higher-ups at either Stanford or Danville Police Departments, which brings us to today, more than 3 months since the Walmart incident. No matter how many awards and recognitions are throughout Officer Godby's career, they're not enough to silence the public outcry in Danville and beyond.
Oh, yeah, okay. So this, you're actually getting to see a bit more here. So this, they clearly have the other side of his body here. And unless he was reaching for like a weapon or something weird like that, which they could have frisked him standing up. I don't know that I'm that motivated to start drilling this dude.
The public outcry in Danville and beyond.
A couple weeks ago, a petition was started by an anonymous.
So what happened when they got on scene? Like when they went to go put him in the car and all that? This doesn't show any of that, but...
No. I think what happened is he first wouldn't go with the program for the Walmart people,
right?
And then that's why they called the regular cops, and then they didn't. Nobody. They just thought he was an alcoholic. They flat out thought he was had been drinking.
Huh.
So
and I get does the store have the right to refuse service? Yes, but like from a liability standpoint, I just let him buy the thing. He's not a prohibited person, right?
It gets better, Josh. You know what 488 is, right? You have to exit the store. He never exited the store.
Yeah.
You can put it everywhere you want. You put it up your butt. It's not against the law.
I was going to say,
once you walk out the store, it's different. He never walked out the store.
Well, the fact that I'll tell you what, in a town where like clearly like they haven't put him on administrative leave or anything like that, but in a town where they're probably very police friendly, right? They're also probably very like pro government. It's the best way I could describe it. For a judge to be like, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop all those. Like even because even the resisting charge by itself, especially we always bitch when we see this, is typically pretty weak, but it's super hard for a judge to say it doesn't meet the criteria. Because in a lot of even in Texas, it is not required that the charge you're resisting for stick.
Yes.
You can get absolved of that.
Great is, what about a lawyer, though? If you just dropped it right then, I think you could be a lawyer on death row and win him a whole bunch of money right now.
I believe it. I believe it entirely. So hopefully... if I can task somebody, Ivana, that is Rufus. He is a wonderful old lad that is telling us the ways of yesteryear. we don't have Keith, so we have Rufus today.
Exactly. Well, my backup weapon used to be a bow and arrow, so it was a long time.
Bow and arrow. you had to go search by the stars to go for those pre.
Mine was a rock. Exactly.
Yeah. You did your calculations with an abacus or whatever it was.
I definitely did.
But anyways, I'd be interested to see if we can get a follow-up on this. Hopefully we do, to see some discipline there. And even if they did, what I hate about those environments is that what'll happen is this guy will get honorably discharged or he'll be allowed to quit, and they'll leave him in good standing, and he just gets to go work somewhere else, which I hate, because the state won't step in and take his license, which they should.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another person here. Who's joining here? Oh, Juan.
Take his life.
Bro, we are take his life. We have producer one. Bro, this is the POC board here.
That's right.
Weird.
Oh, people color.
Yeah, dude. This is
2 browns and a gray.
And a gray. Those little box.
Yeah, but I'm the only one who gets a whole month out of the year. That's all I'm
true.
saying.
Yeah, true.
Wait, don't we get like a day in September?
Supposedly we get September is what it but nobody knows about it, so it doesn't matter.
Hey man, we also I was bringing this up the other day that in all of like the random Disney princess movies, we don't get like a brown Disney princess. We don't get a brown superhero. We got, what was it, the Blue Beetle?
We got Encanto, which was not really a
doesn't count.
princess.
That doesn't count.
We got Jasmine.
Yeah. No, Coco.
She's Muslim.
Come on.
Jasmine's Muslim.
Aladdin,
Pocahontas is Native American, which totally doesn't count.
Aladdin had hair like mine, so I counted it.
Anyways.
We definitely should have a Leticia. You're so true.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be a thick Disney princess. That's all I'm saying.
Letty. With chola hair. I can do that. Really, I'm in.
Oh, imagine it set in East LA.
Oh no, I'm playing the clip.
Call it Fiend to Watch.
Stop. We're practicing pits.
Oh.
I was not allowed to do pits, so.
Are they practicing or is this real?
I think they're practicing.
It's training.
Oh yeah, pit
the
training.
fact that they're not pointing a gun at this Impala tells me it's training.
The
sussy Impala.
I'd point a gun in my class.
We had so many supervisors already getting their speakers tight because of the admin when you had to use a pit just for
imagine.
The loss of a vehicle.
I could only imagine. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, they had to give you the 913. They had to give you permission after a while.
Really? Yeah, for us it was deadly force, so it was considered dead. So if you were in a deadly force encounter, they didn't care what you did. But they at my department, you could pursue we had a very generous pursuit policy, but we could not pit. We couldn't block vehicles. We couldn't do any of that. And their fear was, again, losing vehicles.
Yeah.
I guess shout out to training. I guess I'll give some points to municipals. It's a
lot. Is good.
It's a lot more rare, or should I say it's just infrequent that you see police officers. Like a county will pit everything that moves. State will do it at 100 miles per hour. So to see municipal agencies still allowing pits in 2025 is pretty impressive.
Yep.
Here we go. What is this?
Hey, Mr. Gray.
Yes, sir.
Can you put that down for me, please?
Okay, the title is Corrupt Cop Keeps Veteran's ID Until He Stops Recording Him. So if it's a legit lawful stop, he can hold on to that ID until the conclusion of the stop. However, I am with this title if he's only extending the stop because the guy's recording. But we'll see. We'll see what the take a shot articulation is.
The phone? Yes, put it down. I'd rather not. I like to have it recorded. Mr. Gray. Yes, sir. Can you please put it down? I'm not touching it. I got it right there. Yes, I know. And I know what that phone does. Please put it down so it's not recording me, please. No, sir.
What does it do?
That's pretty soft. It's
why not?
It's a public
touch you in your no-no place?
It's not unlawful. Like, there's nothing. There's also no, because I got into a really heated argument actually about this, about it being a safety concern. He's like, well, what if they're live streaming? I'm like, they're live streaming a public place. Like, it's not. We even had a whole ordeal. I remember when it was a big thing. This is probably 2019, 2020, where they would start to call loved ones. There was this whole argument. Can I prevent a phone call? And the idea was, well, I don't want other people showing up on the stop. And I was like, yeah, but like, is making a phone call unlawful? Like, what safety concern? Because again, it's not unlawful to stay in your car, but I can remove you. But there's specific case law in Pennsylvania v. Mims that it can control your movement. There's even more case law as far as controlling the stop itself, right? Like I can have a boundary to conduct my information or my investigation. And if you try to invade that, you can't do it. Well, there was a bunch of cops that were saying, like, I don't want them calling people to show up. And I was like, well, then just arrest the people that show up for interference. But if they show up, but they show up like a block away from your stop, nothing unlawful has occurred and nothing is going to interfere with. I get it. It makes you nervous. Trust me, I've been there. I hated it. Every time I had to stop somebody in Section 8 housing in the middle of what I knew was an entirely gang-affiliated block, it was uncomfortable. But, like, it's not I don't have a right to comfort the same way that my detainee doesn't either, right? Like, same thing with handcuffing, same thing with whatever. Like, you're not allowed to just not like something. Same thing, you see a lot of those guys that they get flipped off and they make a traffic stop out of that. That's DOC. And you're like,
They also don't have the officers that get butthurt because of this don't have the imagination to turn it around on them.
Right.
Because I would use the PC. Whatever he's doing now, I would be used for me giving a ticket. And my reason, like, I was just gonna let him go. Oh, hell no. Now I would check to see how
you're checking tread depth and all that.
Exactly. I would see if he's got anything hanging from his rear view right there. I would check to see if I would have like 8 different things. Normally he would have been gone by now, but now nope. And then I would be so sweet that he could even use it. Oh, officer, sir, that is a wonderful phone you have there. So this is the reason I stopped you. Do you have any reason for me stopping you? Yeah. But when you start using your ego, then you get in trouble.
And technically everything, though petty, is technically protected under the law that it can be done.
I'd rather not. I'm going to go ahead and record. I know it's my right to be able to record. Excuse me? I know it's my right to be able to record. No, not to record me. Yes, sir.
So, welcome to the Brady list.
Video. I'll let you know when I first pulled up.
According to what you got to use it for.
Film public officials. Okay. It's First Amendment protected free speech. Okay. Put the phone down, please. I just got it sitting there. It's recording. I'm on, and you know it's recording. Okay. Am I being detained?
There's also not a terribly safe way. Just out of not that it's important for the sake of the stop, but this is not a terribly safe way to be outside of a car. You're like perfectly squared in the window, and both of your hands are like super far away from your tool belt. Just like from a safety standpoint, like
no, not even that. Opening the door
anywhere near.
You can push your ass all the way back before you could regain whatever you're doing.
God, dude, that happened. I was in a domestic. And they were interviewing, like I was interviewing the victim and the other guy was interviewing the suspect. And of course, indoors open towards you, right? And I happened to not put, I had the habit of putting my foot at the base of the door and I didn't think about it. And he, I guess, overheard what was going on. He's like, that bitch ain't gonna lie about me. And just came barreling through the door. And I had that exact thing happen where I was just like, door hit me first. And it was a whole mess. But like, totally agree completely. If he decided to kick swing that door open, you're getting flung into the grassy knoll over there. It's just like not a terribly safe way to do it.
You can't see if he's going to do it because you're not looking anywhere near him. You're looking up above the car, just like.
It's not that. And again, if his if his articulation for the recording is it's a scene safety thing, which I think is bullshit. All of his behavior is also not indicative of someone who's worried about their safety. Like all of that gets eliminated because this is going to be a civil rights violation, which is going to be considered civil. It's going to be a civil lawsuit, and so preponderance of the evidence is going to be what else were you doing to ensure your safety, sir? Were you asking for a second unit? And what about the recording? Did you what law are you citing right now that he can't record?
Yeah. Well, he just asked him, was he detained? He just asked right now.
Let's see it.
Am I free to go? You're free to go. I'm just recording. It's just for.
But you have his ID.
You want to go? Go ahead. Can I get my ID? I'll let you know what I was going to say as soon as you put it down. So you tell me. Well, I'm not going to turn it off. I can't go anywhere without my ID. Whenever you want to leave, just let me know. All right. So I guess he's making me sit here until I turn the camera off, which I'm not going to do.
Does it have a comment? Oh, no. I got to go back.
Ooh.
Hey, Mr. Gray.
Of course, I got a comment section.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge L for the officer.
Yeah, what's worse is if he did stop and then he complained, what do you think is the first question Internal Affairs is going to ask the officer?
Oh, dude, right?
Why did you have him stop recording when we could have used that recording to, exonerate you?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's an idiot. I hate.
Policing happened after he turned off his phone. You just didn't see it.
Right, allegedly. I'm gonna take 20 for that. That's pretty bad. I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell if this is PD, but it's not a star, so I'm gonna assume it's PD.
And it's not blue. I mean, it's not green or tan.
Yeah, right, right. He doesn't have a little top hat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's pretty.
He's a bounty hunter.
That's pretty bad. Who put that one in the chat? I need somebody to own that. Stop. Or whatever, corporate security or whatever.
Yeah.
I need someone to own that video.
Whatever happened to Dog?
I think so. His wife died, which is kind of
really?
sad. Well, he didn't think it was that sad because he was immediately jumping on something else afterwards.
Yeah.
But he, I think he quit the bounty hunting business. He's doing something else though. But
he's probably into hair. I think it's cosmetology.
I bet that would not surprise me. I don't remember. I think I was at SHOT Show. This was like a year or two ago, and I remember hearing that his wife died, and then we actually saw him, and I was like,
"Wow,
I know what your wife looks like, and that's not your wife." And like, my dog, what are we doing out here? He's coping, is what somebody told me, and I was like, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. My boy's coping in Vegas. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's fishing wildlife. That's what we're
Officers face many dangers on the streets. They shouldn't have
Apparently
to
he
fear
joined the
their own
manhunt
handgun.
for Brian Laundrie, the Gabby Petito thing.
He did what?
He joined the manhunt for Brian Laundrie.
Did he really?
The Gabby Petito, yeah.
That
Shout out to the very start of this channel.
Dude, no kidding. Or at least our live stream. Yeah, that was our very, very first live stream.
Wow.
That's bringing
evidence
it back.
that the gun that hundreds of Washington officers carry could fire without the trigger being pulled.
Investigators have obtained this
Sig Sauer, I'm sorry.
video from Spokane that first raised concerns here in Washington.
We'll
Chris
take your
Ingalls
sponsor
reveals
money,
the growing number of incidents across the country.
We got medics and officers in around. It's a frightening call for police to respond to.
Hang in there, Curtin.
A fellow officer down, blood flowing from a gunshot wound to his leg.
Thank you to media for blurring it.
You sure there was no shooter?
Over who fired the shot.
Sir? There was a shooter?
I'll tell you what. So when you want to know what somebody's face looks like when they've lost a lot of blood, you'll notice that like his cheek and his like lips are the exact same color.
Ooh. Yeah.
That is not a good sign. My boy is feeling it right now.
Yeah. That wouldn't happen on my face.
There it is. He's like, I'd be fine. You won't know. I'd be losing blood. You wouldn't know.
It's more dangerous that way.
there's the disadvantage to tanner skin there.
It just went off, okay. It just went off, okay.
Police officer Kevin Currington wasn't in a gun
His
battle.
leather gear.
He was simply locking the gate for the evening at Northside Park in LaGrange, Texas, last June.
Oh.
Evidence soon pointed to his own duty
it was
weapon.
fully holstered too.
Sick.
And nothing. I want to point out this too. What's sus? So obviously the round got struck there, right? But when he went to go rack it, nothing came out because it failed the chamber the next round.
Wow.
So that's how you know it was still in the holster. I bet you too, if you did GSW on the holster itself, you could see like scorch marks in the holster.
Covered in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sig. 9mm.
Somehow firing in the holster.
You did shoot yourself? It just went off, right? So there is no...
Okay. Just free advice for people that have ever done an investigation.
Yep.
Maybe you just ask what happened. That sentence alone, this will tell you how petty courts are. Well, he said he shot himself, so there's no way that gun went off by himself. That rubbed you the wrong way.
In California, we would have had a representative there, as innocuous as it is, as innocent as it is. We would have had a rep going, "Shut up."
Yep.
You don't say nothing.
No.
We ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing to say to nobody.
So
go to the hospital.
When specifically, and So I followed some. I work within the industry. I've been following some of this, and that statement alone, especially in a civil case, could be enough to kick the case. So this guy gets shot. He could have some of the officers that have gotten struck by some of these guns permanently injured for the rest of their lives. Like some of these are heinous injuries. But the only way that you get restitution is through civil court. Like you got to sue them, right? And man, the lawsuits going on for this are pretty heinous, and Sig Sauer's pretty good. They're much better at winning lawsuits than they are apparently at making guns that don't go off.
Officer Currington survived the shooting and became possibly the latest victim of the Sig Sauer P320 handgun. A version of the Sig P320 is the handgun of the United States military, and hundreds of thousands.
A version. And I do want to make the delineation that the M18 or the M17 is a very different model. It's got a thumb safety. It's got a bunch of other features that the 320 does not have.
We buy it. I have the Glock 40. I have the 17. 22. I don't have a problem with it, although, the SIG feels like a real gun because it's so tight. The Glock feels like, okay, I could throw it at him after I run at him. But the SIG you can beat somebody with.
So to answer the question, since I am a subject matter expert, the 365 is actually a completely different operating system altogether. Though they're the same manufacturer and they come with similar technology, the way that it engages the striker, there's been no current cases of the 365s having issues. The 320, and for non-gun people, this is really going to make your head spin a little bit. It's a very different mechanism, and a lot of the design choices that went into it, ironically, me and Rufus did Glocks our whole time. They were nervous because Smith & Wesson got sued by Glock when they came out with the plastic gun, right?
Yes.
It was so close in design feature, and they actually won the lawsuit, so Smith & Wesson did change stuff. SIG was trying to get ahead of that, and they just simply told engineers, we want to be as far away from Glock as we possibly can be to avoid a lawsuit. And the unfortunate reality of that is there ain't too many Glocks that have been accused of doing this, and there's probably a reason for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I must admit, though, full disclosure, I carry a SIG 380 about everywhere I go. So
is it the 1911
Chill.
one? He said chill.
Yeah.
My wife carries a 365. We also have another old timer. God, it's the geriatrics ward today.
Nursing
home tonight.
All right,
yeah, the AARP meeting ended, so I'm going to mention this.
The AARP or the Social Security check finally kicked in.
Yeah, that's it.
You can pay the internet bill. Keith, it is wonderful. We also have a deputy in the house, so we have someone to represent county.
There we go.
Okay, I've adjusted the screen.
Rufus, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, my man. I'm glad you came on here with me and all these whippersnappers.
We got to teach them about. I still can't believe none of them get a SAP. Can you believe that, dude? Just horrible.
They have no idea.
I know.
And they don't know what it's like to have to tune someone up without somebody videotaping them either. There's a big difference.
Exactly.
All of my fights were at least caught in 1080p. We'll see what their conclusion is.
Thousands more are used by civilians and police.
Shooters, watch your threat.
On their head.
But today, you won't find a single one on the firing line here.
3 left side, 3 right side.
At the facility that trains all police officers in Washington state. That's because the executive director of the Washington Criminal Justice Training Commission temporarily banned the P320 in October, even though several police departments want their recruits to use them.
We need to bring some people together and have a conversation about what's next. We cannot afford to have a recruit get hurt. And everybody says, as long as you keep your finger off the trigger, you're safe. And then that doesn't come true. That is scary.
Her team, a mix of firearms and law enforcement experts.
You know what? I respect that a lot, to be honest. I know it seems kind of weird, and normally I'm like a super anti-admin person, especially when it comes to law enforcement in particular. But she's like, if I get even a single example that I can verify that this thing's slightly defective, I don't want to disarm my officers, but I don't want to give them something that's potentially dangerous to them. They had a lot of discussions that came out about the Remington 700. This is decades ago. I'm a nerd, so I know about this kind of stuff. Where the Remington 700 had the same issue where they weren't drop safe. And there was actually a kid that got shot and killed during a hunting trip. Mind you, there's some muzzle discipline discussions to be had, and there's a lot of firearm safety steps you can take to prevent injury. The only downside is with a firearm, specifically in a law enforcement setting, is that gun's going to get jostled around a lot. Can't tell you how many times I've thumped people or doors, or just even when you're fighting and it's in the holster, it's effectively pointed at your leg the whole time. And so, you know, you go and leg sweep somebody, and then randomly you got a hot searing pain and tinnitus acting a little more loud in one ear, and we have a problem. So I do respect that she's at least taking the threat seriously, and instead of saying, hey, let's wait and find out, especially if there's officers. You can imagine if it was the same thing if there were cars having brake issues.
Yeah, but it's still a CYA.
1,000%.
Because she'll flat out, some guy actually does get shot, and they go, hey, you know about this beforehand.
Right.
And again, 1-800 the law comes up. Somebody's getting rich.
Yep. And they're the department's trying not to get sued because now there's enough information, at least for their threshold, to say we don't want to be stuck in this situation.
Yeah. And if I worked for Glock, I would definitely go and mess up 3 or 4 of the
right. And I believe, and I do believe wholesale that there's a lot more going on politically behind the scenes. I work within the industry. I'm pretty intimately part of that part of the industry. So sure, there's definitely Glock putting ad money into like, hey, you should really run this story. Like it's totally a thing, right? But
that's a lot of money for department.
Millions, tens of millions of dollars, probably per department, depending on how large these agencies are.
Yeah, and if the military gets involved,
yeah.
My God.
Oh, yeah.
Has been investigating incidents involving the P320.
Just recently added some stuff from a local agency that had some issues and went away from the Sig Sauer.
Through records requests, King 5 obtained some of the evidence they're evaluating, starting with this October incident at the Training Commission's firing range in Spokane. Zooming the video, we see a Yakima police recruit drawing his P320. There's a cloud of dust to his right as a bullet strikes the ground.
Now, that one I could see being a negligent discharge. Only because he's actually manipulating getting it in and out of the holster. Which is just typically where fingers end up getting into places. A la that poor lady the poor guy that got shot when he was getting disarmed. That in and out of the holster, I could see an ND, and I'll give Sig probably a pass. Also, where the gun went off, you can kind of see the little poof of dirt here. Hold on, let me see if I can get far enough. Where the dirt was a little sus.
A couple of shootings I've been at, the officer actually shot the car before he started shooting at the suspect because he was pulling the trigger as he was coming out, and the car got the first one.
Yeah, the car was his first victim.
Exactly.
Out of dust to his right as a bullet strikes the ground, narrowly missing the trainee next to him. This report said the recruit's trigger finger was not on the trigger or in the trigger guard. That statement from a firearms instructor is evidence the P320 fired on its own.
There was an instructor right there, and he was actually watching the recruit, and the recruit did not have his finger on the trigger.
Maybe.
Poltergeist.
That October incident.
Poltergeist? Is that what you said?
Launched the Training Commission's investigation, which turned up a handful of other cases in Washington, none with injuries.
I've seen cracked frames.
What the hell?
And many more nationwide.
My gun just went off.
Did you enjoy law enforcement?
100%. That was my goal as a young child.
This former sheriff's deputy was one of the victims.
In my patrol car, getting caught up on reports, whatever, go to get out of my car, getting ready to take my gun off in its holster. As I'm removing my admin holster, it shot me straight in the femur.
That's a law firm's animation of the 2018 incident that ended the 7-year career of Loudoun County, Virginia deputy Marcy Vadnais.
I lost my career, my marriage, like still to date, like it still affects me mentally.
Yikes. Yeah, who wants to be married to somebody who shoots herself in the leg? What a
jackass.
What a jackass.
I'm sorry that she got injured, especially if this was totally on the part of Sig, but you can't blame Sig Sauer for the marriage. You can blame him for the hole in your leg, but you can't blame him on the marriage.
Well, you know, he might have been in the car and he got shot too.
Civilly, for sure, yeah.
Listen,
civilly.
No,
you
but
absolutely
usually
can,
what they're
because
saying,
that's a couple an extra $100,000.
Hold on.
Okay,
Where's we'll put it on the fence.
you 100% should. It's called loss of consortium, and
This guy.
it means your husband don't want to do it no more.
You gotta chill. We'll keep going.
There's some people.
Bro, listen, if it goes off in your holster, I'm just saying, get as much money as you can.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Me too.
Especially got to get stitched up like that. Ugh.
Say, Casey, come on. this friggin' chat out of pocket per the usual.
Just like the police department you work for got a task force, the streets, they have a task force. They have their own task force, and they practice drills. They ready. Let me give you an example of the street task force and the things they do on purpose, just to mess with you. When you're driving around looking at them, believe me, they're looking at you, and they know that you're new. Fresh new face, you smell brand new. You still kind of smell like the academy. They can sense the newness on you, and they know when they drive by you without this tag on this car.
I don't like that his outer vest is a different color than his shirt. That's a petty, weird thing to not like, but it's just like a subtle difference here.
True.
It's like one got washed way more than the other.
It's faded.
I didn't even know that was a vest. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of looking at it for a second. I was
It
like, wait a
looks
minute.
cloth.
This is a different whole thing. Yeah, they're like it's like it's got like a liner that's ballistic, but yeah, it's an outer vest.
You're going to get right behind them, getting ready to do where to have a traffic stop. They know this. They know you looking for something to get into for the experiences, and that's cool. But when you light them up, hold me out on a traffic stop at whatever location. I got a car with no tag, with no license plate on it. You get out of the car, making your way to the car. And you know what happens then? That passenger, he's going to open that door and he's going to sprint out on you. And they know you got excited. Your excited antennas went up. Got one running. Hold me at blah, blah, blah location. He's turning left.
That is actually a scenario I was given in academy, which fortunately, like 85% of my academy passed that scenario where we didn't take off after the passenger like an idiot.
Right.
Especially on a traffic stop. But this should be taught in academy. This shouldn't be. I get it when you're new, like it's a little, the job's kind of fast. I remember I'd say like my first 6 to 8 months out of field training, because even field training, like you're being drugged through field training. Nobody's crushing it there. But I think that I could see maybe like your hamster's not running at full speed at first. You're like, well, somebody's running and I'm on a traffic stop, so maybe I chase them. But that should be like an automatic, like one of those like basic fundamentals that you teach. It's what we've been teaching here. If I see brake lights on still and I've just stopped a car, especially if it's in the daytime, don't approach the car because his foot's on the brake and he hasn't put it in park. Or I used to like to tell, we used to talk about seeing the flick of reverse lights. Like typically like reverse lights come up white. And if you didn't see them cycle through to park, on a manual, you won't see that. But on like an automatic car, typically if they go all the way through all the gears to go to park, you should see a quick flick. You're like, okay, they actually put it in park versus just them waiting for you to approach so they could book it on you. Don't be a noob.
Yeah, I taught at the academy for 10 years, and that was one of the scenarios at the night. Yeah.
Great scenario.
Behind the green house. And right when you get out the way, the driver is going to ease on away. That one that sprinted, he's a decoy. He ain't going to have no warrants. He ain't going to be carrying anything. It's just a decoy to distract you. And you're going to be asking him who was that driver. He's going to tell you he don't know. You ask, why'd you run? I was scared. You don't have anything. You just ran. Then you're going to be texting your classmates, calling your FTO. Hey, this passenger, I was doing this traffic stop. The passenger ran.
Let him go.
Can I DC him? The FTO going to be like, did he cause public alarm? I don't know. Did he impede traffic? I mean, tell me more about it.
Felony running.
Stop! He's going to say, I can articulate PI here. Hold on. I think he was running from an unknown phantom. We're going to go ahead and do with an emergency detention here.
Felony run.
She said felony running. I mean, it's not. I'll give some points to media. If I was nothing but a high school graduate and didn't have any basis for law enforcement, I could maybe understand that. But like, a lot of that should be taught at the very minimum at the academy, for sure. Like in the what if stuff, if you're in field training, like, hey, rookie, just in case, like, just so you don't make me look like an asshole, like, let's walk through what you might do in this scenario. He said pedestrian in a roadway. I love y'all.
Yeah, I've had someone's charge to get it for trespassing.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know, I've had 503s where we ran after the driver and got the passenger, and they wouldn't even file on the passenger.
Yeah,
because he wasn't driving, and it's not against the law to get out of a car and run.
Yeah, you stop the driver. You know,
exactly.
The passenger is secondary.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of times, especially when it was like a car full of juveniles. We'd catch all four and be very proud of ourselves, and then be like, but are we holding all four? And typically we could detain them just in case we found something in the car that I could maybe pin to a specific individual inside the car. But a lot of times, yeah, you were cutting 2 or 3 of them loose just because you knew, like, I'm not going to charge them with running. Impromptu cardio is not PC for offense.
Someone calls us.
What are you saying, Keith?
I was just saying, way back before we had this border situation we have now, down in South Texas, when we would run and we'd stop a van that's sitting like 3 inches above the ground because it's full of there's like 30 dudes packed in the van. They'd bust the door open, they'd scatter like ants, and our job catch the driver.
Like
you know,
halftime show.
The other guys, will let catch the driver.
Yeah. I saw a coyote in my neighborhood the other day, and I was telling my friends, I've arrested like 3 or 4 coyotes, but they had 2 legs. But I had one in our neighborhood had 4 legs. And he wasn't looking for stuff, so yeah.
That's a good time.
It's not a crime. Why have we been doing this all along?
That question answered by a new Sacramento County Sheriff's policy. They won't respond to non-criminal mental health calls anymore.
Being mentally ill is not a crime, but yet we're being here, being forced to be there and be that person. And I'm at the point, as sheriff elected, enough's enough.
The policy.
So I get where his like logic train is going. The one downside to this is that these mental health calls generally are designed to prevent victimization for, ironically, the suspect. Right?
Exactly.
So a lot of times, like, because you don't, hey, this guy's like randomly rambling on the side of the road, right? And I've had these calls. You have somebody walking on the side of the road, not illegally, right? They're on a sidewalk, but they look homeless. They just happen to go into way too nice of a neighborhood, right? So somebody calls. We show up. They're on the sidewalk. They're not breaking any laws. Certifiably crazy. Like, they're like looking for a tree to date kind of thing, and like don't know where they're at, don't know whatever, but there's no medical emergency, right? And I had to let them walk because I was like, it doesn't meet the criteria for an emergency detention, though I know they're crazy. Yeah. They're in a public place, like that's not enough. But at least we stood by and said, well, let's see. I'm gonna go wait and see if they pedestrian a roadway. I'd go detain them on it, and then do the NED, and then just be like, hey, I'm going to write the elements of the offense for this crime, but like I'm not going to charge them for it because I realize they're crazy. But like not showing up to these, one of 2 things might happen. If it's raised someone's concern, like let's just say it's a concerned citizen. I had this happen all the time. Demetrius, I won't dox him completely, but I love this kid. He used to go into our Walmart, take a box of cereal, and just walk out with it. He'd eat it. Didn't pay for it, did nothing. I had worked the call about 2 or 3 times, and Walmart, basically staff, all kind of knew who he was and was like, for a box of cereal, we don't care. It's like $1. And they were just happy to see that the guy was eating. It literally was their policy. Yeah. They wouldn't CT him. They wouldn't nothing because he didn't argue with anybody. He just went in there, took his thing. He was crazy. And so I would just go to check on him and make sure like, hey, where are you staying? what are you doing? You know, you know, you're not getting into arguments with people. And he was typically pretty transparent with us. And like 1 out of every 2 or 3 times he took the fuzzy slipper, you know, sock tour of the hospital because I was like, hey.
Did you say sock tour?
No. Fuzzy
we call that
sock
grip
tour.
sock.
Yeah, grippy
They
socks.
call it the grip socks.
Yeah.
He said sock tour.
I don't think you call them homeless anymore.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you gotta call them unhoused.
Yeah, unhoused. But
The unhoused.
but especially like if it was really, really cold and I saw it like he didn't have like warm clothes on. Same thing, like if it was really, really hot and I started to see like signs of him being dehydrated, I could articulate his behavior being a danger to himself. Even though he wasn't a danger to others. And I was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and do this to make sure that he's getting care. Nothing about those calls would have been considered criminal, but I don't show up and he dies that weekend. Who's that on, right?
Yeah. Well, see, and playing devil's advocate, I understand where the sheriff comes from. And I personally, because I work a lot of executive protection right now.
Right.
I work for, I can't even, I got some NDAs. I can't even tell you the people I've worked for, but just yesterday I took some jewelry from Las Vegas to another place in my own vehicle. So one thing I do know is there's gigs for retired police officers, and they should probably give them the opportunity to be the warm and give them a little training to be the warm and fuzzy social worker types with guns, but don't call the officer who's at
working 911 calls and all
a
that.
righteous, he's a righteous DV, so that you have homie that's licking a window 3 flights down. Yeah, you should have a regular guy that getting paid well. But I wouldn't want my wife to be a social worker talking to Bubba, who decides he hasn't had any in a while and throws her down and de-pantses her because she doesn't have a gun.
Sure.
So, you know, you got to see it both ways.
Step Bro, I just wanted to acknowledge that you were here and I love you. And I'm calling him Mustang, even though there's a Corvette in his picture. I will not let that slide. I'm going to let this play and see what his justification is.
Policy change that's already in effect is in response to a Ninth Circuit Court ruling that removed qualified immunity where no crime is being committed. That leaves officers at risk of potential lawsuits.
Officers can be held personally liable. Personally liable. The fire department can't. Mental health professionals can't.
We've spoken to Sacramento Metro Fire, and they say that this new policy puts all firefighters in the county at risk. So my question to you...
I'm just going to let that air itself out there for a second. Let's give a moment of silence for no secured scenes for mental. Because this puts us at risk.
This fire is a mental health call.
Sorry, no kidding, right?
I do comedy about that. I said I wanted to be a fireman, but during the physical, they took one look at my testicles and go, "They're too big. You got to be a cop." So yeah, that's basically the same thing. It's like,
that's how it works.
you little cop, you little guys can't handle these crazies out here. You need to have that big bad cop standing there. Yeah. How many times do we shoot a homeless person? No, we got to manhandle his ass.
Yeah,
and
that was most of my fights, to be honest, was like crazy people.
Yeah.
So the Ninth Circuit being the Ninth Circuit, generally the Ninth Circuit and the Fifth Circuit is kind of where everything happens as far as people deciding to take a political stance on whether or not they're going to pass something or make a ruling on something, right? They're the most populous parts of the country for the most part. This is kind of why. If you're going to take qualified immunity for law enforcement where there's no like law enforcement stuff from it, are you going to take like Good Samaritan qualified immunity away? Same thing with like judges. Because like judges have blanket I could put a guy in prison wrongfully for 30 years and it doesn't matter. Same thing with attorneys, right? I can't hold an attorney accountable just because they were really good at their job and let the person that murdered my whole family off on a technicality, right? Like there is no, and I'm okay with it. They're serving a function, right? The issue I have here is there NEDs or emergency detentions, though there is no crime, there is a public good aspect of it. It's kind of like breach of the peace, right? When you have a DOC or charges like that, even PI, simply being drunk is not illegal. Simply being in public is not illegal, right? Especially if you're not committing a crime. But both together serve to be a public risk. And if you get enough to where you get the law enforcement's attention, right? They've created a crime specifically for it. And I get it that it's not illegal to be crazy, and it shouldn't be. I think this is a pretty short-sighted and likely very politically motivated thing. I understand his take on it because obviously the department doesn't want to get sued, or the agency doesn't want to get sued. And he doesn't want his deputies at risk. So I kind of understand that. The only downside is like, if fire doesn't feel safe, they won't go to the call. And now what can we sue the judges? You know, and what happens, especially like there, because like what happens when in California, where like you have pretty diminished, you have like an obligation to retreat, not allowed to be armed, but I'm a crazy person. It's not illegal for me to be crazy. And I decide to live outside your front door for a week and you can't leave because you live in an apartment, right? Like,
how would somebody know a distinction? Do you make a distinction between someone that's tweaking? He has a master's degree from Stanford, but he's a crackhead.
Right.
And you have somebody that just doesn't have his elevator going to the top, and he will smile at you, but still stick you in the neck with a pencil.
Right.
So how would you know which one those are if you're not a qualified
you don't have the
expert?
training. Yeah. You can't safely make the determination. That's the hard part about it. And that's we'll see.
What were those conversations like with them?
What do they expect us to do? I'll be honest, there's no crime. We're not the bodyguards for everybody. If there's no crime being committed, why is law enforcement there?
What is your response?
We have a great relationship with law enforcement. This isn't an us versus them thing. This is a bad court decision that was brought down with unintended consequences.
Right after Sheriff Jim Cooper spoke to media, we went back to Sac Metro Fire, echoing what they told us first last week. They need backup on these types of calls.
But at the end of the day, if our company officers are not comfortable going in on an incident because there's a potential for somebody to get hurt or killed, we're not going to be able to make entry, and that's going to hurt the community.
The court's decision impacts law enforcement across the state. And just like in Sacramento, it's up to the departments to make changes or not.
Has your department decided how you're going to handle this moving forward?
We have, and it's going to be fluid, and we're going to address it as it comes.
In San Joaquin County, the sheriff's office will still respond to non-criminal mental health calls.
Sacramento's response to this?
And even on that discussion, like, I'm all for it, but are you ready to deal with the cost of training? Is like, we can barely afford to have sufficiently trained police officers, right? And there's plenty of people, either within the industry or without it, that would like for like police officers to be damn near snipers, right? And so like I'm here for it, and we can have the discussion about like man catchers or even just having like less lethals, right? Which would require considerably less liability. Well, it depends on how they're implemented, but like, it's just a lot more complicated. That court decision made it a lot more complicated than people realized, especially in a place like California. And it's not California broadly, it's California in these major cities. Every single major city in America has issues with the homeless population. And if I was a resident, I'd be pissed. I'd be super pissed because that is now a you problem. That's basically what the government's saying. You fight the guy by yourself, and that'll have really bad consequences, both for the people that are chronically homeless or have mental health issues.
Yeah. Well, us veterans used to love it when the firemen would deal with the crazy first, because we didn't have to make it 5150 because they had to take him to the hospital. So if we dealt with them, then it's paperwork, and we had to come over there. But if they took him, he's just crazy, and he needs to get an aspirin. So there's a big difference.
I heard that chuckle. Don't think you're immune, Keith. You guys are terrible influences.
The phone and answering the radio at the same time, this police officer had a hilarious slip-up.
213, I'm clear. Bye, I love you.
What an idiot.
While talking on the
This looks like one of my people. You know what? I'm going to give him a point. No, I'm not. I'm going to take points for hitting on dispatch because that's what's going to be seen as.
No, I want to know who's videotaping. How does he? Where's that from?
Yeah, he definitely videotaped
Is that his
himself.
partner?
Yeah,
I think it's made up.
it's 100% made up. But we're also going to take. You know what? I'll take points for media while I'm at it too. These kids trying to be viral. What is
Exactly.
This? What is this? What an idiot. Autoped. God, how pissed would you be? Like, it happened in front of you, too, so you have to work it. Oh, but you know what? It's a felony hit and run, right?
There you go.
Because it hit a pedestrian. I'm going to chase it till the wheels fall off.
I don't know. I would charge a pedestrian for hit and run or hit and lie.
Pedestrian in a roadway.
Pedestrian
I saw
run.
no other crime.
They're at fault.
Yeah. I saw no other crime committed.
That's so funny.
Are they in a crosswalk?
You're right. You're
Do
right.
they have right of way?
There's also a provided sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
On probably both sides of the fence.
They're impeding
To the street.
traffic already?
I take that. Yeah. That's hilarious. I tell you what, though, if he leaves, there's no traffic accident. Like,
That's right.
I tried. Cut me a call for unknown disturbance. I saw what I thought I saw, and I have 2 unknown parties, so I can't generate. I guess could you generate a CR3 for that?
No humans involved.
Hold on, but hear me out. If I saw, because you can make like a hit and run's an unknown car, right? Like you can do that. But if I have an unknown, like victim, and an unknown suspect, would I bet you if a sergeant saw that, they'd be like, "Hey, dog, like that's got to be a CR3." What a pain in the ass. You have to do the hit and run report and the crash report and the criminal report.
I think it's drunk in public.
You do a crash report without a car.
I'm just saying, you'd have a pedestrian, right? But if the pedestrian ran and the car ran, I wonder. I got to look that up. I wonder if you could. Just
if he's
HPD, I would do if I just file a vehicular assault. Yeah, just
do
don't file a crash. Just do a vehicular assault.
Oh, because that would get kicked so fast. Whatever the grouchy gremlin lady that works at the state, like the people that do the auditing on those. Did I swear like 1 out of every 6 I had probably got kicked back? Sorry, sir. You have to do a better drawing. I'm like, damn it.
That's TxDOT for you,
dude. TxDOT does not play. So this was my people. I'm gonna take no points. I'm gonna take points from media for recording it. How dare they? You might have created government work. Doge is coming after you for government waste. Okay, so this is mid-waste safety. I'm gonna start making mid-waste safety half points because they always have some like really like misrepresented videos. This is saying tourist commits multiple felonies after DUI. We'll see.
You okay?
No, I'm not. I cannot make it work.
Yeah, I don't think your car's gonna work, ma'am. Are you okay though? Do you have any injuries? Does anything hurt?
I don't know.
You don't know? Hello.
My brother was driving and that was in red and she was coming and the car was here and she pushed us.
All right, so you guys were parked here, the light was red.
Yeah, the light was red, but she was drinking.
Ma'am, do you have your driver?
It's called scene security, my friend.
Wow.
You can make people not do things. I get it. She's like an older lady. This older lass can still be a dangerous older lass. You just gotta.
I think she's a madam, and she's got like 8 hookers waiting for her.
Probably.
And holy, so yeah, it's hard how you treat her.
She got a little derringer sitting somewhere.
Exactly.
You just gotta,
and she's illegal, and she's worried about ICE.
You got to be careful here, man.
Driver's license, registration, insurance, all that. I'm gonna need it.
Say it again.
I need your driver's license, your registration, your insurance. You guys are okay though?
Licencia.
All right.
Say it again.
I need your driver's license, your registration.
I don't think
and
she's
your
Hispanic.
insurance.
Juan, is she Hispanic?
Do what?
I want to ask Juan, does he think she's Hispanic? I don't think she's Cuban,
No,
Mexican,
I don't think so.
or Puerto Rican.
I don't
I don't think so.
It almost
I
sounded
thought
Russian.
she's from Yes, I thought she was like from an Eastern Bloc country.
She's a dragon lady. What the
Let me check her tattoos.
Right.
Okay, these guys are gonna check you out. Talk to them. They're right behind you.
So what else?
Ma'am, right behind you. I'll get everything
Yeah,
out.
she's definitely.
Just talk to them behind you. You guys have your driver's license and all that information. Neither of you have a driver's license? Never been given a license.
Never.
So you're driving with no driver's license.
What a bad time.
Yeah.
It was just the two of you in the car, or we're all Who was driving? You were driving? You have a driver's license.
The Mexicans
Not on
are
you, but you have one. No, I have one.
This struck a chord with me. I can't tell you how many times I worked accidents, and they were like, they had insurance typically, but they would not have driver's license.
Oh, we hated it.
I get hit with the matricula card, and I was like, damn it.
I know. And it's not their fault. But
It's
they're
not,
going to
no,
get
it's
a
not
bigger
at all.
ticket than her.
Yeah.
And their car's going to get towed.
Yeah. Yeah, I would oftentimes, as long as they had insurance, I wouldn't tow it if it was drivable. But typically, policy was if they had no insurance and no driver's license, it was getting towed. Like I had to tow
It was towed. Yeah. It was towed.
Actually, for an accident, period. If there was no insurance, it got towed.
Never had a driver's license. Okay.
I'm
Well,
dealing
actually,
with bullshit.
in our department, if he goes to each one of them and says, are you hurt? Are you hurt? They go, nope. We'll put them to the side and have them exchange. So we don't even ask if they have driver's license.
Yeah,
now, if you think you have to assist them, then yes, now you're going to find out. Now you got to give some tickets. But if you're really smart, you go, is anybody hurt? And they're like, no, I'm not hurt. I'm good. Okay. Does your car move? Which hers doesn't look like it does.
I was going to say, that's the one thing that's going to screw us on that plan is going to be the car not being movable.
Exactly.
If it was both drivable,
if she finds some booze in the front seat that she has or some vodka, then all bets are.
I will say this: I have had this happen once in a. It wasn't a commercial vehicle accident, but it was like a U-Haul, like involved with a car. It was a very small amount of contact, and everyone was on the up and up. And the guy wanted to report, and he starts like, well, my back hurts, and I think I'm going to go. And I was like, y'all have exchanged information? I was like, that's a drivable car. You're electing to get preventative medical. There's no apparent injury to you. You walk to that ambulance. He ended up driving himself to I was like, no, not doing a crash report. You guys both have your information. I facilitated it. Like, we're not doing that.
I hated those reports. I hated those reports more than anything else because they're literally accident, not crime. You don't leave the scene.
Nope.
Accident. They're only for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
It's an accident.
It's the worst.
In my life, domestic abuse, child alienation, I don't need to deal with somebody like him.
So you don't want EMS to check on you and make sure you're okay?
I don't.
So
I really don't.
This Polish lady's
Okay,
like,
so
I don't
you're
need that.
refusing medical
I'm not
assistance.
soft.
Yeah, whatever happened tonight, I just want somebody to get me home, and that's it. I don't want to deal with this shit.
What is that?
What?
What's in your hand, honey? Are those pills or something like that? Prescribed pills?
Probably.
Can I see them, please?
No.
They have your name on it, no?
Probably.
So what's your name, ma'am?
I don't know.
Ma'am, you have to give me your name.
I
This
don't.
is a traffic crash,
Actually, I
honey.
don't.
Ma'am, you do, honey, okay?
Hey, that's no report
That's
right
gonna be
there.
a problem if you don't give us.
I'm trying to think here.
She's got warrants.
100% she's got something, right? Warrants or something like that. But I wonder, because it would be like failure to, because it's leaving the scene of the accident without changing information. Like if she refuses to ID herself here. Like, let's say both cars are drivable, right? But she's like, I'm not giving you my ID.
We would have ran the plates by now and had her ID.
At least like who the registered owner was.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess you'd pull the registered owner's name to see if you can get a driver's license on database, or at least an ID card, because you should pull something.
Yep. Just getting.
What if it's an out of state? Oh, bro, the pain of every single dumb traffic. We had a lot of out of towners because they would come to like Cowboys games or concerts or whatever, and that was the worst. Like an Arkansas plate, and they'll say he's got like a Minnesota ID, and I was like, bro, what are we doing here?
Tourist commits multiple felonies after 2
I'm not
years.
understanding why you won't give us because you guys are going to fuck me up. How are we going to F you up? How are we going to F you up? I don't know. I know you guys are going to fuck me up, and that's.
How are we going to do that? We're here for a traffic crash.
No,
ma'am.
you're not. You're not.
Well, why am I here then?
You're not. You're not. So why am I here? Because your job is fucked.
Okay. Well, just because you're not the police doesn't mean.
That's fine. I don't think I am.
Okay, let me see your head because they said you had a mark on your head, honey. You want to get out of the car? Honey?
When did you
I'm
become
sorry.
pregnant?
I want to try to connect to the people.
I remember this being a
I
misdemeanor.
don't think I'm
actually.
reeling you in.
If you, so at the scene of an accident, if you're a participant or involved in an accident, if you fail to give your information, it's a misdemeanor.
I was gonna say it should be it's a misdemeanor in your presence.
You start with that. You're leading into. You've already got a misdemeanor, and then boom, you just kind of daisy chain it up.
Yeah, and your car's getting towed for sure because you can't show that you have a driver's license, so we can't release it to you. So you're just going back and forth, back. And forth.
John said she thinks it's KGB.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on the state, it's not that far off.
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm just trying to do my job. It's not
So
being
you're
charged
not
either, okay?
pulling me into your side of the thing.
I don't understand
You
what that means.
stop flashing that shit into my face.
I don't understand what you mean.
Whatever you do, turn off the f***ing flashlight.
No, I'm not going to do
yes,
that.
you are. You're aggravating me.
Ma'am, so what I'm asking you is to do field sobriety exercises.
I don't know what that means.
I'm going to explain
I
to
need.
you.
I do too. That's
So, ma'am,
the
you're going to
bottom
have to
line.
stand up for me, okay?
I'm not standing up to anything.
Ma'am, you're going to have to stand up.
I'm not.
Ma'am, stand up.
So I'm assuming she developed reasonable suspicion for the DWI. So smelled alcohol, something like that, right? You also have though it's less reliable, you have the other involved party claiming that she was drinking. Which is not enough by itself, but if you're starting to get the slurred speech, you're starting to smell the alcohol in the breath, there's the accident, you have some eyewitnesses saying that she was possibly drunk. And then likely with everything that's in here, you probably see like an empty container or whatever.
And the number one thing, she's failing the attitude test.
Yep.
Don't agree with him, Key.
Her attitude is enhancing. It's enhancing her felony that I'm working on.
Exactly. I was going to go home and watch Lucy 20 minutes ago.
He said on the she was beginning to what a reasonable person would articulate as be a pain in the ass, right?
Exactly.
Up on your two.
I am not. Come on, honey. No, don't touch me.
Failure to do it.
Do not touch me.
Try to get into implied consent.
You are hurting me right now. Okay, let it go.
And she wasn't wearing undergarment.
Let it go.
Now that's a segue.
Okay.
Watch your head, honey.
I'm not black.
Watch your head.
I'm not. I am white. You guys are.
I just almost spit my tea out. That is incredible.
Hold on, I'm gonna play this back for the soundbite. This is
what state is
an
this?
hour and 32. Let me see if I can.
Is this state of confusion? What state?
I don't know that we get it in the comments either.
These guys are notorious about not giving it. We have to see a car or a patch.
Here it is.
Let it go. Let it go.
Come on, honey.
Okay.
Watch your head, honey.
I'm not black.
Watch your head,
I'm
honey.
not. I am white. You guys are going to get. Don't touch me. Do not touch me. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You're going to be f***ed. I will shoot the f*** out of you. Let it go.
It's the retaliation now, right? now we're stacking charges.
I told you she lost the attitude test.
Oh, it's true. This is so fun.
Let it go.
But Josh, I would have liked to have been the officer. She goes, "You're gonna treat me like you're being treated?"
Oh, I know.
No. What's wrong with you?
So I think just quick word of advice here. If we're stuck in this situation here, I'm going to put it here. Hands typically aren't great. Wrists, elbows, all that stuff's not a great way to get leverage. Grab the nape of the neck. It makes this way easier. Basically, you try to fold them down like a pretzel. One, you get a lot more leverage. Also, it's a good way to not get spit on. So basically, take the nape of the neck and you pull down, and it's a very painful thing for them, but you also have a lot more leverage. They try to push back on it, they're scooting themselves out of the chair. Obviously, you want one of the arms. You don't want to get punched in the face. But if someone's being that difficult, you could do an ankle drag, which also helps, but typically they can use parts of the car to kind of basically sprawl out. If you ever tried to give, I have to give my cat seizure medication, and they like fight it the whole way. Yeah, you can oil check, but I don't know that I'm doing it.
Hair is also
hair's kosher. I mean, at this point,
hair is a great motivator. Yes, you got active resistance. You want to guide somebody to the ground, snatch a hold of their head.
Exactly. That's why I stay bald.
You say it's cold. Here's a hoodie.
If you have a female there that is worth her salt, she'll understand that a male, will just do as much as possible. If that was a male in that car, he'd have been pulled up by his feet. His back hit. His head would have hit the ground, But as a female, they're trying to get to her, pull her, put her nice.
I am white.
I know. She's probably transvestite, but she is white. So in between. We're gonna get them all there.
Let it go.
Stop.
Hey, can you hold her real quick? I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Well, then you need to put your hands on your back.
I understand. My phone is not working, and you are hurting me. Yeah, you are.
Well, right now,
It hurts. I don't know why you arrested me.
Okay, that will all be explained to you in a second. Okay.
Let it go.
Ma'am.
You assholes.
Ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. You can bring her to my car.
Okay.
You are arresting me.
And in court she goes, and they call me the N-word. So.
Oh, is this an Axon camera that fell? Hold on. We're taking it. Pounding.
Yep.
There's no DUI. You guys are molesting me.
No, we're not.
Oh.
Yeah, you are. Let me go.
Ooh,
ma'am.
You are.
That is an Axon camera fail. Let's go.
Trying to look under her dress. Yep, that's another $300,000.
That's another $300,000.
Let me go. Let me go.
You just search for
Let me go.
Hey guys, I gotta go. The wife made some dinner, and I'm so old. We got prune juice daiquiris for dinner, so I'm out.
Nice.
I might have to come back later though. We'll see you.
Rufus.
Don't be treating me like I'm black.
Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Is he? He's an old man. Let's see if he figures it out. We'll see if he figures it out.
Oh. We're gonna have to kick him.
You're gonna have to kick him.
I think we had to kick him last time.
Oh no! This is what happens. You do the DEI.
Right, I'm ready. I'm ready to kick him.
Go for it. I can move this.
3, 2, 1, kick. Oh, did it work?
Nope. He's still here.
What the hell? Can you kick him, Josh?
Hold on, stand by.
Maybe I don't have the power. You took my power away?
Oh, I can't kick him.
Bro, he's immune.
Hang on. I might be able to
I'm gonna
kick
disconnect him.
That's disconnect. Disconnect didn't work either.
It didn't.
I'll just mute him.
Bro's immune.
There you go. He's muted. He won't be able to. He can't hurt us from there.
Oh, there is like a hide members button. Oh no, that didn't work.
It's fine. I
Give me
muted him.
mod view.
There it is. I fixed it.
Lesbian! Don't fucking touch me! Lesbian! I don't want her to touch me!
Well, now she's not going to touch you.
I gotta get off.
Can I just kick him?
Oh, it worked. It worked. That or he disconnected. One of the two.
I don't know. I was about to drag him out. So apparently you have to go to the other window to like accept. We may have kicked him from the server, which would suck, but he'll figure it out. He'll come back.
We'll get him back. There you go. Problem solved.
Touch me!
Yeah, come on now. Get in the car.
It's supposed to lead us, not lead us. Oh, this is getting kind of stressful.
All right, man. Just come over here real quick. So you're going to have a court date, okay? For driving without a license. It's a criminal citation, so you're going to have to be at court, okay? Here's the court date right here. You good to go now? Yeah, you guys are good? You guys drive safe and have a good night, right?
I can't breathe. Hello? I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Help. I'm dying. I cannot breathe.
I got the windows open for you, ma'am.
I can't breathe. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. Hello. Help me, please. Hello. 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 Hello.
Get you some help.
You're not getting me help. You're hurting me. You bitch. You puta. You're
Why are you saying Spanish curse words?
Bro, she hit it. She's trilingual, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bro, FIFA's gonna come down on your ass.
We got a wheelchair coming. We got a wheelchair right here if you need it.
Even hit him with the there it is.
No, this is the reason I
Nope. You don't get the grandstand here. Accurate for once. I think they were too nice, to be honest. These are my people,
Pretty
right,
much.
Keith? Yeah, I'm gonna take points for them being too nice. They let her dictate that a little too long. Did issue citations, which is fine. We took our points from Axon, and then suspects for being difficult. She played the whole spectrum of victimization there. Alcohol and driving ability.
It's one thing to say that alcohol affects driving, but it's another thing to actually see how alcohol affects driving.
Oh, this is actually pretty. So they did like an official test. This was actually pretty cool. I'm gonna skim through some of this because it's a little bit long, but they did legit.
By licensed DPS chemists and
they did like legit breathalyzer tests, and so they had them do an entire training course sober. They did all the driving, they did whatever. And some of it was just like reaction time, some of it was whatever. But they actually have some statistics here on, let me see if I can find it here, that I wanted to bring up. Oh, this actually looks kind of funny. Hold on.
The one thing I've noticed myself is my reaction time is slower. A lot slower.
Alright. Best I did yet. Okay.
Fly out.
How'd that one go?
I think I ran over somebody back there.
The drinking group also had performance losses on balance.
They put a lot of science into this. It was actually really cool, but they have some statistics here. Oh, here it is.
Study demonstrated that at BACs of 0.04, which is 1/2 the legal limit, drivers have a difficult time handling all driving situations, but especially those which require quick decisions and fine motor skills.
So this statistic alone, with 0.04 already doing 9 to 18% of an effect on your impaired driving, is
that's one beer.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's one beer, but it's further
for you.
It's further proof that I know that God exists, because I've seen someone make it home without hitting anything at like 0.3 something. It was wild. Only reason we knew that because we had to show up on the domestic, and the car was kind of parked a little weird, but we touched the engine, and the engine was hot. Like it had just gotten parked. Dude goes in, unlocks the door, and starts beating on the old lady. And so we show up, go to arrest him. Very easy domestic assault. Like he's actively assaulting the lady when we show up. And she said the phrase, yeah, he just drove up and started trying to hit me. And we're like, wait, he drove here? It was wild how like hammered this guy was. And I was like, where'd you come from? And he came from like Irving.
Oh, damn.
And Irving to Arlington's like the 30-minute drive.
Yeah, it's a good 30 minutes.
And I was like, he had to have been hammered the whole time. Because to, like, one, it's to drink it, but, like, he hadn't metabolized it off, and he would have been metabolizing it as he left. He was like, yeah. I had, like, 8 shots while I was there and just decided to come home. I was like, golly. Like, it was wild. Anyways.
He was trying to get home before it hit him, you know?
Probably, right? It was wild. And so we worked there was a DWI officer that happened to be like, basically showed up to back us up because we had to fight the guy. And he's like, I'll work that. And I was like, no. He's like, no, I'll work that. And so we did the report for the domestic assault. And we were going to arrest him on that alone, but he worked the actual DWI side of it. I was impressed. Shout out to your boy. He like saved me from about like probably 50 DWIs. I love that man. He knows who he is.
The group scores on the complex skills declined an average of 13% at 0.04 BAC, 17% at 0.07, and 24% at 0.10 BAC, while the control group's ability was unchanged. Losses were less apparent at .04 for the simpler tasks, but were evident by the time .07 VAC had been reached.
What's also wild is they got to do it sober first. So they're familiar with the car. They're familiar with the course. They got some practice reps, get hammered and do a lot worse versus, like they said, the control group that just did the exact same battery of tests again saw no effect whatsoever.
Although not all drinking drivers' abilities declined equally, all performed worse than they did in a sober condition. Fortunately, no one was hurt due to the mistakes of these drivers who drove after drinking.
Anyways, I did like that they put like real hard signs and tried to measure it to see like, well, how dramatic is a lot of this is what this type of testing is what gets brought up in court as to why, and if they ever bring into question like, well, it was only .09, right? Like, can I plead this down to just a PI? And they're like, nah, dog, like even at under the legal limit, you potentially have issues.
Could I get a 7% reduction in my sentence? Because that's the difference in the two tests.
I think it was state agencies that did this. It sounds like state boys. I'm gonna throw them a bone.
Sounds federal.
Vegas, whoa, ice cream truck mistaken for ice vehicle. I mean, are they wrong?
We know of no ice-related activity here, but that's not stopping a wild rumor spreading involving an ice cream truck.
8 News Now investigator David Charnes live in studio tracking down the truck and its driver. And David, he's not happy.
No, he is.
That's a dumbass way to design your business.
That's a little on you.
You know what?
Sure.
Kind of.
I mean, it is
for the lulz. I'm gonna give points to society for just being a troll. Ice Cream Patrol, Las Vegas.
That's funny.
I would take a picture next to that.
I want to know what the slogan is on it.
Oh,
to
like
something
down here?
and something. Yeah. Because if it's like
It's
if
not,
you're
and
going
what
for
happened
a
here-
full cop ice cream theme, I'm good with it.
Shows how some.
To entice and delight. Okay, that's
That's
lame.
incredible.
I do like the Ice Cream Patrol badge.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I wonder what this is. This like trees? What is this?
I don't know. They need to do it close up.
It's probably ice cream cones.
Oh, I didn't
spider
think
webs.
about that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just what I'm saying. I can't see. I don't know.
I tell
It's a
you
bad
what, though,
picture.
it looks pretty good though. Like he looks like he's keeping this thing pretty clean.
He
Some in our
needs
community-
like one ice cream cone on there.
At least something.
Even just for the advertising aspect of it. Like if you're selling food, you got to have pictures of the food.
Right.
Are on edge about these impending arrests. You can't spell out ice cream without the word ICE, or in this case, the acronym for the agency leading these arrests, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And this afternoon, posts on social media are leading one business owner to give us the scoop.
Oh, that was good. Where's media? Hold on. That was good.
Points to media. Let's
That's
go.
pretty solid.
Have you taken any from society yet?
I'll take some
For thinking that ice rolls around in vehicles, with
I was gonna say.
like this. So, yes.
We'll take
take 15.
He said not take 15. I love you, Keith.
It's so
I
stupid,
understand.
man.
Have you seen the Booty Patrol one that looks exactly like
Booty
an ice vehicle?
Patrol's
Just-
like
that
legit
one I understand.
looks like a immigration truck. Like it's the right green, the decals are the same. Like no, that one's pretty good.
Rolls around looking for tortas.
But this is no for real though.
ICE and Border Patrol don't use trucks
Tortitas.
from 1985.
The federal government may not have a truck like Billy Settlemeyer's, and there's a good reason why.
I'm an ice cream man, that's it.
Oh, dude. Come on.
No, society fails. Big,
This
big
has
fail.
got
Come
all
on.
of the things here.
Also, the children crossing on the back. Like, there's an ice cream
They
truck.
showed the other side and not this side. They're idiots. You know what? More power to this guy.
You heard that right.
Also playing the
Settlemeyer's
music.
drives an ice
Yeah.
cream truck that looks like a police vehicle.
Although, talk about a rad way to do interdiction. It's just like, it's technically a marked unit. It's just, like.
It's complete with a fake badge on the side.
What is this? Okay, so that's the
Oh,
Vegas
it's
skyline.
so it's just the city. I think it's just cracked. Like it's like an old sticker. Because like the
No,
Nevada's
that's
kind of
part
messed
the-
up.
Yeah, you're right. I think so because
it's
it's
cracked.
it's all the.
But
Okay.
but this is like because that's the Ferris wheel. That's the like
Mhm.
Eiffel Tower. This is just the strip. Basically.
Yeah, and I can see.
some
Yeah,
palm
it's on
trees.
the ice part and the cream parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So now,
look
if
closely.
ICE was smart, they've been letting this guy kind of soften the area up. Oh no, that's just the ice cream dude. So if they do roll up
He's providing
and
officer
jump out,
presence.
you know,
yeah.
they've already got
changing
him lulled
behavior.
into a sense of security, you know.
I will
So-
also say my guy's
But
got
also-
a based selection here.
I'm gonna say he's got literally Mexican themed. Like he's got the mangonada, he's got el diablito over here.
But it's totally like intentional. Like you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
more in the. Oh, this is pretty good.
Well, I'm just saying like he's advertising to the community, so it does kind of suck for him that he's losing customers.
Well, but like I
Well,
think
he's
it's even
specifically, like-
more of a meme. You know, I feel like this.
It's like entrapment now.
But that's kind of what I mean. Is like if I like saw this, I just get one for giggles. Like I get the fruit ones because I'm not gonna try to mess myself up with the dairy. But
In the Las Vegas ice cream
crazy.
Dog, this selection
patrol
is pretty tough.
may be home to more chocolate
Shout out to
bars
him.
than metal ones.
So I wanted to build something creative for my community. Nice and clean and approachable, safe for kids. That's it.
But some on social media didn't take a minute to think before posting a video of the truck.
Oh wow, that's Las Vegas
Telling you, man.
Ice cream patrol.
Ice cream patrol. He did a good job with his paint job. These also kind of cool mirrors, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, if he had a push bumper, that he's missing out here.
That'd be.
This
I wonder.
guy
Yeah.
would be.
Or put a spotlight or something.
Oh,
you
dude,
know.
like on the corner here.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah. You could sell at night.
He does have, dude. He's got a light bar. That's incredible.
Oh, that's sick.
He probably just did like the amber and white like light bar. That's. I'm here for this, dude.
Video of the truck and starting a rumor
Hey,
that for
Juan,
Settlemyers,
check the chat. This is I just dropped the link in the chat. This is here where I'm at now. They've got some really cool looking stuff. You guys are probably like,
Oh.
Okay, hold on.
Bro, they got the sandwich conchas.
I'm gonna pull it
yeah,
up for y'all.
yeah, like stuff with like fruit and stuff.
Oh my god, dude.
We're gonna see.
Yeah,
Am I
we haven't tried it,
doxing,
but I'm
am I
gonna-
doxing anybody if I share this on stream?
No, I
Wasn't-
mean, it's close to. It's not far from where we live, but it's in a little town one over from us. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the chat see what we're gawking over here.
Bro, this is slick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. That was like that would be over.
So this is a
immediately.
like a Nutella and cream filled concha, basically.
Yeah,
with strawberries,
bananas.
I'm
and
kind
stuff.
of here for it, dog.
some kind of
Bro,
marshmallow
when-
puff.
When I cheat on my my carnivore diet, let's see this menu.
Yeah, they got a menu there.
Are you carnivoring right now?
Yeah, it's like 80% carnivore, but it's
Yeah.
made a huge difference. My IBS.
Oh, it's like me
symptoms are-
doing a keto plus.
basically
keto plus
yeah,
bread.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. This elote cup needs to be a little more mixed for me to bless it. It's got to be kind of like mixed together.
I
But
like
everything
that
else I hear I
fresco
bless.
Listen,
fresco
it's
con
the best
crema
they can
right
do
there.
out where Keith is.
That looks pretty good.
Oh my god, this is just they're calling this sopa loca. And it's it's like a ramen cup.
Yeah.
This is there's a lot of margin in that, dude. This cup's worth like 50 cents.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
That's not over.
I
If
eat the
y'all
hell out
y'all
of
pop
that.
over, if y'all pop over, we'll go over here.
Hell yeah.
Oh my
we would go
god.
nuts.
Okay, I'm eating some of this for show. Okay, this is happening. Anyways, we'll let the Discord know if we're ever making a trip out there. We'll go do a meet and greet for some ice cream.
We'll live stream it.
too sweet.
Basically, be on the lookout. Las Vegas is using ice cream trucks as cover to catch illegal aliens.
That's top
The
notch.
post quickly going viral.
Perfect.
But as Settlemyers parked his truck near Lake Mead and Jones on Monday, the only ice here was the one with cream.
Have you ever had this problem before?
No, not at all. People will ask me if I am law enforcement or ex-law enforcement. I'm a mechanic. I built the truck.
The truck even says there's no law.
That's awesome.
Bro, it says it. Oh, man. Shout out to
It's
this
like
guy.
it's got disclaimers, you know.
Yeah.
That's I
Hey,
wish I
social
would have
media
known
people
about this.
can't read, okay?
When I was in Vegas and I would have found it just to get ice cream.
Yeah.
Worth it.
100%. Next year.
Hey, Bloomington.
Next year we'll take a
do you
picture
have
with
an
it, Josh.
Dude, for real.
We'll
take
hunt
a-
it down and
Yeah.
we'll take a picture with it.
Like, dude, you should meet us here.
Mm-hmm.
ex-romantic partner that frequently brags about getting away with crimes, misses court dates, and may have some warrants? Do you want to do something special for him for Valentine's Day? If so, give us a call. Here at the Orange Jumpsuit District Inn and Suites, we have friendly staff who...
He said Orange Jumpsuit District Inn and Suites. That's...
Yeah.
ready to greet you.
I'm here for it. That's a real sign there. That's hilarious.
We also provide luxury transportation. We will go pick them up wherever it's needed. Here at the Orange Jumpsuit District Inn and Suites, they'll be...
little hard.
I'm going to give points to admin for allowing this. That's pretty based admin to allow an ad like that. They only get 10, though.
provided with their own private suite. Fine dining cuisine brought right...
Dude, this sandwich looks good for being
That's
jail
actually
food.
not bad.
We had like it was white bread with turkey.
With a bologna slice in it?
Yeah,
or
basically.
something?
It was probably
the
bologna.
turkey loaf.
But it was
Yeah.
but it was dry, no lettuce, no mayonnaise, no nothing. And I think we had packets. The only downside is that when they came with cheese, that cheese would always end up on like the jail wall. They would just like lick them and throw them. They ended up in like.
But yeah, because I mean, you couldn't melt it with a direct flame.
No,
you know,
no,
I don't know what the
yeah.
hell the cheese was made out of, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is a pretty. It's like a, basically like a what is it? A breakfast on a bun, like a Bob from Whataburger.
It's like a Egg McMuffin.
right to your private suite.
Organic apple
Are you
juice.
worried they won't have anything comfortable to wear? Don't worry, we have some high quality attire for them. Our friendly operators are standing by. So Bloomington, give us a
That's wild. That's.
Wait, no, he's gonna throw the things.
Oh.
call and make their Valentine's Day special.
I wanted to see his coffee starts off pretty full and it ends pretty low by the end of it. He one shot that. My boy. You know, this is PD, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him some points.
Yes.
I'll give him 5 for it. For the satire. Also, I know who you are. I'm looking at you because every Valentine's Day, every first Friday of the month, or it wasn't no third Friday of the month, there was some petty people out there calling on ex-significant others or baby daddies or baby mamas. Like,
Oh yeah.
bro, half of the warrant services like I served, like I helped us patrol serve, was from stuff like this. If it was like actual fugitives, like they had to go find somebody, that was different. But I can't tell you how many times they'd call the desk. Hey, I know where so and so is. That's like a felony warrant for whatever it is. Like he's playing 2K with his neighbor. You're like, oh, okay, good to know. Petty.
For a UK police officer, would you mind telling everyone watching what the equipment is that you have on your vest? Because I'm sure we're all curious to know what these things actually do.
Okay, right, starting from the top. I mean, people have things put in different places on their vest, but
Is that
I've
his
got
body
my body
camera?
worn up there. You
think
got
so.
handcuffs in there.
That's horrific.
I don't like the placement of this handcuff thing because it's on a vest that can be taken off.
Yep.
And them being open, I don't hate. I'm used to them being folded and put up on the belt. And I guess he can reach them from both sides, but this is kind of a weird place to put this.
So there's your handcuffs there.
Oh, it's like a weird hinge cuff too. It's like a non-hinge. It's like a
Yeah, it doesn't flex.
solid cuff. That's kind of weird.
Well, my handcuffs, not your handcuffs.
Like an 1800 cuff.
And then in here you have the spray.
Their OC's way bigger than the one I used to carry one that was like this big.
Well, they
Never-
use it way more than you.
I was gonna say I never used it. So.
That is their primary weapon, Josh.
That's so funny.
That's something that you.
Oi, you
really
nicked,
wanna get in
mate.
your eyes. It really,
Dad.
really hurts. It's nasty stuff.
Kimberly,
Coming
what's going on,
across
huh?
to
I
this
like they got a
side,
Nokia
obviously
phone for a radio.
For real.
radio up the top here. Then we've got the baton.
The
in there.
Baton.
Extendable baton.
I don't like that it opens from the bottom.
Yeah.
Feels like it's gonna fall out.
Hey man, I'm trying to be cool, I guess. That is not a very worn-in baton. Mine looked like it came out of a Mad Max film set when I got mine issued. Like mine was probably used since like the 70s.
Shorter than the ones we used to have. But yeah, still an extendable baton. Rack that and put it back in. In here we have limb restraints. If I take these out, I'm never going to get them back in the short time we're filming this video. But
so
there's your
limb
limb restraints.
You would...
Oh, these are like like ankle restraints or something?
He said he called them limb restraints, but what?
Yeah.
I mean,
like for
What is it
your
for legs?
It's kind of cool that they got them like on hand because normally I had to go to my car to go get them.
Where's Jamie? Is he here?
Yeah, where's Jamie? I need an explanation here. This is kind of weird. This looks more kinky than it does tactical.
Obviously tie those to their limbs to stop them kicking you. And
they go round your limbs, yeah, and it basically the
limbs does not narrow it down, brother. Like I know you're speaking the King's
Yeah,
English.
we have 4 of them. So
I'm just saying, dog. Hey, some of us got 5.
The idea is that it's safer for them and safer for us. In the way that we can handle that person, because the last thing we want is to get anyone injured. So,
restrain a mentally ill person without cuffing
them, and that then that really helps.
He's got a guardian
control
like
them
cancer. I just saw it.
And that's pretty much
something on your shoulder as well. So what's this?
Oh, that's my guardian angel.
He claimed it too. Standard issue, you know. Got keep me safe when I'm running code.
They don't give us cars, so we got to run after them with this thing on.
Also, put that on top of your
We
head.
go wee woo wee woo wee woo as we're jogging behind them.
Keith, it's whatever.
And obviously, if you were stood on the side of the road, you turn that on.
Is that on?
Is that on? It's
I
dead.
can't see anything flashing.
Yeah.
No, great demo.
Charging.
It might do.
Story of my life, literally.
Yeah. Looks like I might have left that on.
You gotta charge it like the wife's boyfriend, man. Holy
Okay,
cow!
that was charging. But in short, that flashes on your shoulder, and
that flashes.
attached
Yeah,
by a
it's got
magnet,
various
that's gonna
modes
fall
and that, and when it does work, it's got quite a good flashing blue light. So if we're at an RTC,
He's got
a
glass breaker
it's
though.
really,
He's
really
doing
good
better
like
than
that.
I
It
did
just
when I
makes
started
us
off.
more
At
visible
least
on the road as well.
Glass breaker
and then
huge.
in my pockets, I got various bits of paperwork and stuff.
So you've got car keys here. What are these ones on there?
Car keys. That's a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter.
Okay.
And that's a handcuff key there. And then I've got my
microphone that we use, so in case people ask.
Yeah, most people don't have one of those. That is my little fob that every time we start the car, we have to log into the individual driver records, and that records everything that we do in the car. And then that's the Volvo keys.
Volvo.
So, yes. What I don't carry is a taser. So I've never been taser trained. It's just not something that I've done, but a lot of other people will carry a taser.
Charged, and it lives.
Oh my god, they had to do a cutaway for the stupid light.
Okay, was that municipal or was that we'll say that was thank you.
Show and tell.
Snack said, "Don't make fun. I have one. Great for working rainy car accidents."
Who said that?
Snack.
Judgment. This is potatoes and eggs with sausage. I got like a pretty healthy serving.
So you get breakfast for dinner, huh?
Can you do potatoes with carnivore?
That's nice.
No, that's why I said it's like carnivore plus.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I'm not strict on anything like that because I think that's kind of silly. But like pretty much 80% of what I eat in a day is carnivore. The potatoes technically wouldn't count, but like I won't do bread, but I'll do potatoes. I think God intended us to eat potatoes.
Yeah, man, you got to.
I'm gonna say that he's a Bobby, and what's that gonna put him at?
That's what chat. Well, chat said he's a county.
Okay, I'll county.
Because he looked like an interceptor.
Keith.
Yes.
So your brother's from overseas. What do you want? Taking points?
Not claiming them. No, those are national police. I mean,
he's distancing himself.
Okay,
yeah, we'll take. Feds. I'll take 10.
There you
country's as big as one of our counties.
That's fair. He said, no, Junior. No, we're not, you don't put that on me.
I will articulate.
Officer Dino, Coral Springs Police Department. Reason why I'm stopping you, why do you have this little baby in the front seat with no seatbelt on, no nothing?
He wouldn't stay still.
Huh?
He wouldn't stay still.
So pull over and do what you have to do as a father, but why? I see you driving over here, you're just, little baby's he's hanging out on the front dashboard. How old's the baby?
3. I know it's a mistake, but go easy on me.
Absolutely not, sir. You aware your license is suspended several times?
I had it suspended in the past.
Be honest, be honest.
Yeah, I had it suspended in the past.
Be honest, what I'm asking you. You hear what I'm asking you?
Yeah.
Are you aware that your license is suspended? I'm not talking about the past, not talking about the future. I'm talking about right now. So you failed to the reason why I'm asking is because you failed to display me your license, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that when their license is suspended because they don't want to admit that their license is suspended. Are you aware that your license is suspended?
No, it
Okay.
shouldn't be suspended.
Turn the car off.
Endangering?
Yep.
Obviously, suspended license.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got so far. But yeah.
He's going to the big house.
At endangering, guys probably
Yeah.
going to the big house, but.
Endangering child, yep.
Now, I bet you there's also not a car seat at all.
Probably not.
And even if it was an enormous 3-year-old, like, it's not, the problem's not just being in the back seat, it's just having because restraints, like lap restraints and all that stuff, aren't really meant
You need some limb restraints.
Yeah.
If it's not a child seat, I mean, booster seat, whatever it is.
At least, if it was a booster seat, I'd have blessed it a bit more. Like, let's just say it's a really large 3 or 4-year-old, and they're at least in a booster seat. They're clearly secured, whatever. But yeah. Every once in a while, you'll snag something like this on and I hate it too because it'll always be an out tail light or some shit, and like the kid's the one answering the window to me, and I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here, dog? Like, I didn't pull you over on like a residential. Like, I just pulled you over on I-30, and you were just going 80 miles per hour. Like, what are we doing? Like, oh.
Whose car is this?
Girlfriend's
right hand to your head, left hand to me. Face away from me and step out of the vehicle. So you're just being detained right now? They're saying you have a warrant for an unregistered vehicle. We'll see if that's the case. If it's not confirmed, you'll be released. If it is, you're going to take a ride, okay?
Wait, release for suspended license and endangering a kid?
Oh, I was about to say.
For that? Bro, I go 5 over and I get a $300 ticket. This dude drives with his kid in the front seat, bouncing around. Got a suspended license. All right,
this
whatever.
is my people?
Yeah.
That is your people, sir.
Also, I think that he called himself an aggressive driving unit in that label. Yeah. Not aggressive enough, Dadino.
Dude.
You have dad in your name. Always gonna be absolutely not, sir. You did, though.
Okay, that's it. We're not getting a disposition. Wow. Full episode or
It's a
DMs?
promo for the full episode. I mean, dude probably went to jail. Let's be real. He had the warrant, but still.
Like, he's more worried about the warrant than...
Yeah.
Bro! You know how many it's a misdemeanor warrant for unregistered vehicle warrant. It's just you got a ticket for no registration, and it went to a warrant. I'm not pulling a guy out of a car for a misdemeanor warrant.
No. But you've got an on view endangering the child. I mean, the kid was hanging off the freaking headrest.
I gotta
what
take
do we even
more.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take another. I already took 15, but I don't know, man. Outside of those guys that just left the dude that was like shot in the park, I haven't seen like failure to act that bad in a while. It was like
apparently that was a different clip, but I'm gonna take points from media. Don't mix clips like that.
Okay,
that's stupid.
We'll take from media.
There is a visual language.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna let this roll for a second. So this is a white sedan. Looks like a Hyundai. Just gonna let this play and see if the car changes. Yeah, there's a kid straight up like on the dash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his dash.
It's a black car. It's different cars. Okay. I'm still leaving the points, but take it away. But like, it is technically a different car. But that's dumb.
This is literally how misdirection works. This is what magicians do.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not our fault. Chad is wrong.
Oh, hey, this is
stand by it.
This is that pit that we saw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of cool. He said that was personal.
That's a nice angle.
Oh, bro, plus 10 to media, dog. Like, what an animal. Wasn't shaky. He had to be zoomed in. He's even tracking it. And he was trying to get the tree out of the way, dog. I blessed that for media. We already given that points. Hercules police taser. Okay.
At 10, a man sued the city of Hercules today, saying he was wrongfully tased by police and pulled from a car after he suffered a seizure and crashed. As KTVO crime reporter Henry Lee explains, this lawsuit says while the crash itself caused no injuries, those officers left him bloodied and ignored their training.
Let's go. Let's get out of the car. You're going to get tased. You're about to get tased, dude. We want to help you, but do not fight us. You will get ripped out of this car. Yes, sir. We're not playing you, so get the up.
Body camera video shows Hercules police swearing at and trying to force Jack Bruce out of his crashed Toyota as he's recovering from his first ever seizure. Moments later, Officer Angel Garcia tases him.
Ow! Get out of the car!
He's tased again and again. Bruce howls.
This is a gun magazine. Now, could be an officer's magazine. But whose is this? For continuity error.
Bruce howls in pain. He emerges bloodied.
No memory. The only thing I remember is the video of seeing it.
Bruce tells KTVU he has no recollection of what happened on Refugio Valley Road near Country Run back in April 2024. But on Friday, he filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Hercules police.
I'm very frustrated, and also I've just seen this happen to other people when I looked into this, and I just really don't want this to happen to anybody else or me again.
Bruce says the last thing he remembers.
You want to get rich. You want to get rich so it doesn't happen to other people.
So...
Yes.
Guy gets in an accident that allegedly does not hurt him, but that either he had the seizure before the accident or he had the seizure because of the accident.
No, he might have had the seizure causing the accident.
That's
also
what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
But if he's claiming he wasn't injured during the accident, but he doesn't remember anything about the accident.
Well, he's saying he doesn't remember anything about the police interaction until he saw the video of it.
You would think that if he was having a seizure, the taser would reverse it and straighten him up.
This guy.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Listen to what she says.
Police and pulled from a car after he suffered a seizure and crashed. As KTVO crime reporter Henry Lee explains, this lawsuit says while the crash itself caused no injuries, those officers left him bloodied and ignored their training.
How does she know what they're training?
Let's get out of the car. You're gonna get.
You mean to tell me this pretty messed up windshield and likely like this is
You're
weird.
gonna get tased. You're about to get tased, dude. We want to help you, but do not.
Is that the windshield or is that the trees in the back?
Ripped out of this car. Yes, sir. We're not playing. Get out of the car.
Body camera video shows Hercules police swearing at and trying to force Jack Bruce out of his crashed Toyota as he's recovering from his first ever seizure. Moments later, Officer Angel Garcia tases him.
Ow! Get out of the car!
Dry stun.
He's tased.
So a dry stun's very different than a taser deployment, like as far as probes.
Because it doesn't lock you up at all.
Only going to cause pain. I'm not saying it can't have complications, but it's only pain.
Again and again. Bruce howls in pain.
I'm with you. I'm gonna take points for the dumb tasers because the dumb stuns don't do anything to put him into custody. So
they make him want to just flail his arms around, which is when you can say, "Oh, he was resisting." It's like, well, he was getting dry stun for no reason.
No memory. The only thing I remember is the video of seeing it.
Bruce tells KTV's police.
I'm very frustrated, and
Yeah, there doesn't
also
seem to
I've
be any
just seen
video
this
of the
happen to
actual
other
approach to
people
him.
when I looked into this, and I just really don't want this to happen.
Help and found him slumped in the driver's seat, unresponsive and glistening with.
He wasn't injured from this traffic accident. I don't know about that.
Sweat. They told police he appeared to be having a seizure and.
Somebody else
Is
in the
that
back
passenger?
seat. Yeah, somebody in the back seat.
Or wait,
Removed his
is
car
that a witness
keys.
who was trying to
Officer
help?
Garcia reported what he saw.
He's conscious, breathing, looks like he's having a seizure. Doesn't smell like alcohol or anything like that. I don't see any drugs.
Despite.
Oh, dude.
Doesn't smell like alcohol. My boy ain't trying to work.
So I'm curious about his positioning here because it doesn't look like he's wearing a seatbelt. But I also want to know: did the person who was in there just a second ago, did they try to move him?
That's what I'm thinking too.
Or
yeah.
was he just not wearing a seat? Because how did his leg end up that high up?
Yeah, this is a.
Recognizing the medical situation,
like,
the lawsuit
rolled?
says officers.
Yeah, could have.
Officers failed to follow protocol, choosing to yank him out instead of leaving him alone.
When I viewed the footage, I was disturbed, and I was saddened.
John Bruce is Jack's father,
quick
but he also
question.
has a unique vantage
Because
point.
we talked about this before in terms of car crashes.
Right.
When if you find him unresponsive and in there, are you going to yank him out or would you wait for EMS to do it? Because you don't know what you have.
It's not training, but medical and tactical medicine would advise that you leave them. Because you cannot secure their neck.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be surprised to see if that's in actually their training. I doubt it's part of their training. If it's not part of their training, you can't hold them liable for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, conversely, where this officer kind of screwed himself, said no alcohol, he might be having a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
He said it out loud, which means they know he's going through something medical. All of the knowingly and intentionally stuff kind of goes out the window. And what's the urgency to detain him if you don't think he's drunk?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like hit somebody. If it was a single vehicle, there's no other issue outside of the accident itself. There's a medical call and a CR3. Like there's no criminal. I'm not going to do a crash. Like I'm going to do a crash report, but not a criminal report, unless I'm going to charge him with injury to a tree, which does happen in Texas periodic. It's a $150 fine.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's a tree.
No.
But I go
He's a
5-0.
senior-
I'm kidding.
Right.
Inspector with the Contra Costa County DA's office, who previously served as a.
He works for the DA's office. They're trying to get
Senior
paid.
investigator.
They're trying to get paid.
Richmond police officer for 27 years. He says the Hercules officers did not act in accordance with their officer for 27 years. He says the Hercules officers did not act in accordance with their training.
And if they had just given him time to recover from what was strictly a medical emergency, then I believe none of that would have happened.
Hercules officials said the city takes any allegation of excessive use of force seriously and is committed to following standard protocol in response to such allegations. Bruce's attorneys, Craig Peters and David Field, hope the lawsuit will force officers to properly respond to medical emergencies.
The officer's acting like a hammer and everything they see is a nail, right? There's only one way to approach a particular scene.
The treatment for a seizure is time. Monitor him for sure, but leave him in place and give him time.
Pretty sure the treatment for a seizure is medication, but whatever. He or I are not medical professionals, but
Time to come back to his senses. That's all they needed to do.
Field says officers have been given specific information from witnesses and should not have interrogated Bruce given his condition.
To expect him to provide useful answers to a question about his medical history is obviously not reasonable.
So he tries to revive the driver.
Roger Clark is a use of force expert
with trees. Okay.
and Los Angeles Sheriff's veteran.
He inflicted the use of the taser, which is a significant and forbidden in this set of facts.
Bruce says he has since suffered 7 more seizures and is barred from driving.
Gives me a lot of fear that this could happen to anybody else, and it's just also a lot of overwhelming emotions of sadness and confusion.
The lawsuit. names the city of Hercules and the 3 officers who were on the scene.
Video there. Do you think that's kind of the full body cam there? On the left.
You're gonna get tased.
Everybody get tased, dude.
We want to help you, but do not fucking fight us. You will get fucking ripped out of this car.
Yes, sir.
We're not playing you.
Get out of the car.
Get the fuck up.
Do I think the whole situation's a little dumb? Kind of, but I do think they probably have a legitimate claim for unlawful use of force because there's no real law enforcement objective to get him out.
They should have let him. They should have let medical. Just call for medical.
Right.
I mean,
unless they thought he was high or something, but they articulated the seizure portion of it.
Well, and if he was high and just, again, slumped over there.
Well, I mean, they also in his little informational. I mean, he said, "Don't smell alcohol, no drugs, no visible drugs." So he's just checking, eliminating things. So just leave him there.
This is he likely reacted very poorly to a bunch of people pulling on him.
Yeah.
I mean, we can watch it. He just kind of seems to be barely reacting.
He's out of it. You know, when somebody recovers from a seizure,
he's just not doing what they're telling him to do, which is different
their neural
than like
system has
actively
completely
fighting.
shut them down. So, they just need time to recover.
I'm going to take 10 for probably an unjustified use of force.
Millennial says, Taser also says those suffering medical issues are high risk for injury with Taser use.
There you go. And that's from Axon.
Yep.
We try and take responsibility for nothing, but
for nothing.
Yeah, I specifically in that instance. Oh, I forgot to take points for Taser usage.
Yeah.
Ah, dang it. That was 15 total. It's a medical call. I'm not saying we're not showing up, but he eliminated all of the criminal reasons for them to be there. He was showing him rubbing the guy and articulating the medical side of it.
Oh, I found the body cam. Maybe we'll watch it Thursday, or do you want it now?
Give it to me now.
Okay, it's in this article, so you just full screen the thing. I'm gonna drop it in the chat here.
This one?
Yeah, the Discord chat or our BC chat.
Okay.
Or I guess I could DM it to you.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, you just scroll down a tiny bit.
Oh, nope. I don't have it. Stand by.
Oh.
I got it. I just have to like click it to move it and do all this stuff. There it is.
Yeah, so scroll down.
Okay, stand by.
More? Scroll down more. You might have gone past it. It's the thing. It's the second thing. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So before we roll here, just real quick, they said that this was his first ever seizure, correct? And how old was he?
Oh, like in his 20s, yeah, at least.
Okay, that's a pretty rare occurrence. You know, most epilepsy and seizures they develop really young. They don't develop.
They develop pretty early. If it's going to be.
Yeah, most of them develop early. So.
I wonder.
I mean, that'll be found or discovery pretty easily because you'll have some sort of medical track record of that.
Now, there is another caveat to that there's also times where, like, not necessarily substance abuse, like he's doing drugs, but, like, I've seen people with Ozempic. I've seen people with, like, prescription medication for, like, sleep or depression that can cause seizures. That could also be something that comes into play here. I would rather sue a medical thing than the department, but you probably sue both and make a bunch of money. Responding code 3. This is an accident. Vehicle leaving the roadway. Person trapped inside the room.
Gotta be on going inside. Oh my god, I don't know. Hey, sir. Hey, sir. You okay? Are you okay? Can you breathe? What's going on right now? Talk to me, boss.
So, free advice. someone with at least a little bit of medical expertise, not a medical professional, but if someone's talking to you, right, and moving, you're really only sternum rubbing when they have a pulse, they're breathing, but they're unconscious. It's the only time you typically will sternum rub somebody. It's very painful. He's not doing it in a way that it's probably too bad, but that's not a... I'd be looking for injuries. I really wouldn't want to move him if I don't have to. I do get kind of maybe him checking. The only thing I might have also added to this is oftentimes when somebody's coming out of this, I'm from Texas, so we have to worry about this. Make sure they're not armed. This guy comes out of an epileptic seizure or an accident and has like a very severe concussion, and there's just this random man in my car, right? Be thinking of that. The situation he's kind of walking into, kind of like the dementia patient, right? Got to kind of have to protect them from yourself. Your primary job here is going to be scene security. Then if there's a criminal offense, try to investigate it. And then you're just waiting for fire at this point. But this is a CR3.
What's going on right now?
Car keys?
Can you hear me?
He's trying to stop him from the sternum rub. You don't have to do that anymore. He's stopping you from a sternum rub. Unless you think he's high and you're trying to get like info, like who stabbed you or something, like there's no need to keep on sternum rubbing him. I get where he's getting at.
45. B, conscious, breathing. A for him on stroke. You okay? Stay with me, buddy. You know your name? N227. Better 20 is going to be right in front of Country Run, directly in front in the ditch. My patrol vehicle is on RVR.
Great radio traffic.
Fire. You okay? What's your name, boss? Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Can you breathe?
Breathing. Fine, dumbass.
Can you hear me?
Free advice. As Keith noticed, respiratory rates, you're going to look for rise and fall in the chest. It should be pretty obvious when someone's breathing. If you want to get real sussy, you could try the whole, like, kind of put your finger to their nose to see if you can feel breath, but...
Well, so the rising and falling of his chest is because of my sternum rub, though.
Right.
I just won't stop doing that, even though he's moving.
Yeah, maybe.
Here, squeeze my hand if you can hear me.
He hasn't said
squeeze
I
my
can't
hand
breathe,
if you can hear
so
me,
you don't
boss.
know that he's breathing.
Yeah.
Squeeze my hand.
Good rise and fall.
A firm for fire. I don't know where they're going to park their rig yet,
These
though.
are big gasps, so you're looking...
Can you hear me, boss? Hey, Goldstein.
I'm coming. What's up?
You want to wait for fire to try to get him out?
Yes.
Yeah, don't move. He's having a seizure. Just let him be.
Okay.
How do we fuck this up?
He is breathing, though.
It's fine. Just let him be.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you, boss?
I got his wallet.
You got it? Okay. Did you ingest any drugs or anything?
Good question. Well, let's look for paraphernalia.
Hey, boss, did you ingest any drugs or anything like that, man? Hey.
Now, interesting caveat here is he is sweating. Now, car could just not have AC, just totally a thing. But sweat, medical emergencies can also cause a stroke, stuff like that. You can cause sweating. But unless it's hot outside, and we don't know how long this car's been here.
I mean, it's April in California.
Yeah, so sweat might be indicative of drug. It would do him better to try to see his eyes, because you'll get a lot more from like pupil dilation. You kind of give him anytime you see like a doctor that's sitting there like holding the flashlight, he's trying to pump light into your pupil to see how it reacts. It should shrink, which is the normal reaction, and also both of your pupils should shrink because they tend to do things in pairs, right? So they'll do it to one eye, they'll do it to the other eye. And if both of them are shrinking relatively well, then you don't have anything weird. If one's shrinking but not the other, or they're staying open or something like that, then you have maybe could still be totally medical, but you might have a reason to believe that maybe drugs are involved. But he can't...
Can a seizure cause you to get sweaty?
Yeah, but with seizures, there's convulsions.
Right.
So so uncontrolled convulsions. Your body is just, and you're gonna crank up and you will sweat.
So I wonder...
I've encountered that there was sweat involved with it.
I wonder if they did blood on this guy. You know, for the accident's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Did you ingest any drugs, dude? Can you hear me?
He's still breathing.
They did blood and urine tests that later showed he had no controlled substances in his system other than a trace amount of THC and the medication paramedics gave him. So.
THC won't do this to you, but I wonder, because a full panel maybe probably doesn't test for everything, unless the THC is tied to something that, and like OSHA is not going to let you release, or not OSHA, HIPAA is not, like, let's say he's on prescriptions, right, for depression or something like that. They're not going to allow that to be public.
Well, this is part of the lawsuit, so I'm assuming it's voluntarily divulged as part of the, yeah.
I still think they should just leave him, but there's something a little bit more to this than just he had a seizure, I think, potentially.
Fire's right here. Just keep breathing, dude.
How do we escalate?
Just keep breathing, all right? Just keep breathing, dude. Just keep breathing.
Hey, Danny, what do you need?
Just keep breathing, boss. Keep breathing, okay? Just keep breathing.
I can't fast forward. Dumb.
Just keep breathing.
You're in an accident. Hey, buddy. What's going on? What's going on?
This is fire.
That's fire.
What are you talking about? You're in an accident.
You all right, boss?
Did anyone?
Oh, hold on. Force has not been.
You're good, man. You're good. Like that.
Force has not been used yet, and I want you to see his face.
Any drugs?
Hey, buddy. What's going on? What's going
Look
on?
at his face here, real quick.
What are you talking about? You're in an accident.
You all right, boss?
Did anyone?
Hercules PD, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. Just breathe.
From his mouth, which is likely if he didn't have a seatbelt, he immediately hit that steering wheel. That tends to be what happens. He's already injured. So part of this report's already incorrect because he's already injured. I don't know how his seatbelt came off unless he just simply wasn't wearing it. But if he had a seizure, wasn't wearing a seatbelt, when the car dips like this, he's going to lift. Which also kind of makes sense why his leg's up here on the dash, right? And how he ended up falling.
Well, his leg was not up there a second ago, though.
Oh, did he move it
so
to
go
there?
back. Yeah, so go back because I
You're
didn't see when he moved it because he skipped past it.
All right.
But like.
I know his hips.
Okay, so wait, no,
breathing,
go
okay?
back.
Fire's right
I
here.
swear
Just
it
keep
was
breathing,
down.
dude.
Maybe it was further here.
See the way his hips are? He's like straddling.
Maybe I was looking at his hip and thinking that was his leg.
Yeah, his leg's on the dash.
Just keep breathing, dude. Just keep breathing.
It's just the angle's not letting
Danny,
me
what do
see
you
it.
need?
Just keep breathing, boss. Keep breathing, okay? Just keep breathing.
I would just skip
Okay.
back real quick to see everything.
Are you okay? Can you breathe? What's going on right now? Talk to me,
So
boss.
we never get a good look at it, but
What's going on
he's
right
still
now?
straddling that.
Can you hear me?
See? He's still straddling the dash.
Take your son.
Okay, we're gonna move back ahead.
Yeah, I saw his other
You
leg.
can't
That's
drive,
what it
dude.
was.
Why? You have any medical issues? No. Have you ever had a seizure?
Still talking to fire.
No. You have diabetes?
No shoes.
No. Any drugs or alcohol today? No. No? You're pretty sweaty, my buddy. Well, yeah.
No, your radio's still not.
All right, let's get you out. We're going to walk up.
So that even medical professionals were keyed up on how sweaty he was, which is more indicative of drug usage.
Cancel the engine, OS.
Dude, you're not driving anywhere, bro. Your car is in a ditch.
That's a police officer. We got to get you out.
Stop trying to grab your seatbelt, dude.
We got to get you out.
Listen to this guy.
Please stop. Just
No.
come with me. We're going to go up the hill.
If you keep pulling your seatbelt, I'm going to rip your seatbelt. So listen to this firefighter.
So he's still in his seatbelt.
So no, he's trying to put it
Oh.
on.
Oh.
He's trying to drive off is what he's doing. Because even fire's like, hey, you can't drive. Like you were in an accident.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, bud. We got to get out of the car.
Call the car 227-231. Can you assist fire and get him out of the car? He's
Hey, buddy.
being a little combative.
Buddy, you're coming with me out. Let go of this. Come on.
Hey,
Come on.
chill out, bro. Chill out. Listen to them and get out of the car.
He's very sweaty. He's profusely sweaty.
Get out of the car, boss.
Hey, you got to get out of the car.
So now fire can't force you out. Only PD can do that. Maybe if it was like exigent and they were just trying to rip you out of like a burning building or something, but currently there's none of that. This is just medical at this point, but
Get out.
Rashad, he didn't have AC. Hey, it's California
Bro.
still though, which is
Yeah.
typically doesn't get very
This
hot
is
there.
like slightly north of San Francisco.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty temperate.
Yeah,
Get out of
this
the
is
car.
going to be very nice. This is
Get
not
out
sweaty
of the
weather.
car. Come on. Get out of the car. Let's go.
Why are you touching me?
Because you're being told something.
He's already cut his mouth. You can hear it. It's kind of like a, not cotton mouth, but he's got like a fat tongue. So you can tell he definitely had an injury to his mouth prior to the tussle.
You need to do it. Get out of the car.
Medic Gray
Let's go.
says
Wake
this
up.
seems like normal postical activity that would be the normal period after a seizure.
Perfect. So we're good on the seizure. The sweating can, I'm assuming, be ascribed to the seizure. Seizure causing the accident. Injury caused by the accident, caused by the seizure, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, let's get out.
Thank you, Medic Gray and Garrett.
Yeah. Sweating can be a symptom of seizures.
Perfect.
Sweating, flushed face, dilated pupils, and rapid heart rate.
We're not driving out. That's not happening.
Let's go, dude. Listen to these firefighters or I'm going to have to yank you out. Come on. Yo.
Bro,
Wake up.
let's get out. Let's get out. We'll go up the hill. Yeah. I did, and he was a little aggressive.
All right, you want us to get him out?
Yeah.
Yep.
So fire requested to extract him. The medical professional said it was good to pull him out.
All right, dude. Listen to this officer. Wake up.
All right, let's hop out. Let's go. Come on. Let's hop out.
What are you doing?
Get out.
Let's go. Come on.
What are you
We're
doing?
getting out.
What are you doing?
Let's go.
What are you doing?
Get out of the car, dude.
Come on.
Now, to be fair, they should
Come
have
on.
been able to
Let's
get
go.
him.
Hey.
Stop fucking resisting, bro.
Let's go. Let's get out of the car.
You're gonna get tased.
Oh, he pulled that taser out so fast. Honestly, I bet if they don't tase him, there's no lawsuit. The seizure and the taser combo probably still makes this lawsuit legit, but I do think fire kind of fucked these guys because they didn't do anything to try to get him out. And they're like, oh, I don't feel like dealing with him. And you're asking cops to do what cops do, and you know how we're taught to extract people out of vehicles? Well, yank them out. That's wild.
Everybody gets
His hand on his neck.
So that's the nape of the neck. I mean, like I said, fire said nothing. The medical people didn't advise us of anything, like, because you're not a medical professional, right? I can't make that determination, but he's healthy enough to fight you. Like, I'm looking at it from their perspective. Like, yes, do I think the taser deployment's kind of stupid? Sure. But, like, you show up, you don't touch, you just try to check on him, let fire come in. Fire's like, well, he's got to get pulled out.
Well, you definitely touched him. You started to rub him to death.
No, what I'm getting at is, like, they didn't try to extract him.
Are you talking about FD?
That's what I mean. FD, like,
Yeah.
kind of hovered around him for a second and was like, I don't think I can get him out. You guys do it. Like, you know what I mean? Put the baby down. It's still the same video, Jacob.
I'll help you, but
It's
do
not
not
the same
fucking
video.
fight
This
us.
is the long,
You will get
full
fucking
version.
Yeah,
of
this
the
is
same
the
video.
full version of the body cam.
Ripped out of this car. We're not playing you.
Get out
So
of the
get
car.
the fuck up.
Context. How come when it's
Get
the
out,
rookie,
everybody.
everybody wants context?
Right.
Get tased, dude.
I'm gonna get out.
Get out then.
Is that just here?
Let's go. Get out of the car.
You're about to get tased, dude.
Well, I'm gonna get on.
Ow! Get out of the car!
Okay. Yeah, this subsequent tasing
Stop
deployment
fucking fighting!
are
Yeah.
stupid.
Do not kick.
This was the Cops magazine.
Sussy.
Ooh, it's a Sig 320 mag. They're lucky this didn't get worse.
Go back. I could have sworn I heard him say stop biting, but it might have been stop fighting.
Let's go. Get out of the car.
You're about to get tased, dude.
Well, I'm gonna get on.
Ow! Get out of the car! Dude. Stop fucking fighting!
Stop.
Oh, okay, he said fighting.
Oh, they actually deployed probes on him.
Yeah. From that distance, not going to do much.
Stop fighting!
So this specific officer caused the lawsuit with the multiple taser deployments. Yeah. Fire should take an L. I do believe Fire should get sued at the same time as his police department because Fire kind of handed them an L. And then these police officers did what they're trying to do on a combative subject, right? Like, dumb. Bro, all the magazines fell out.
Taser 7. Taser deployed. Still fighting.
Come on. No more.
And the second taser
Okay. I'm glad
We're
they're
all
getting...
causing this lawsuit, Josh.
I'm glad they're getting serious.
No more. Let's just try and get her.
We're all targeted. Oh, you're gonna lose your taser to the Seizure guy?
Handcuff this man.
Stop fighting. Here, cuff him. Dude, put your hands behind your back, please.
I just
Drag him up the hill.
Drag him out and then get him. So with him getting, like, pushing himself up against that, it's going to be pretty hard. So either ankle dragging him, wrist dragging him, or something. Two of you drag, one of you make sure he's not, like, kicking or something like that. And there's a way. There's a solution to this. It's not easy, but there is a solution to this. Especially with, we talked about earlier. There's 3 of y'all present. This is kind of on y'all. 2, maybe less so. If it's 1 officer, I actually wouldn't have been terribly upset about the amount of force that was used once you got into a physical altercation. But with 3, the reasonableness starts to drop.
Okay. All right. Here's another arm. Fuck.
But also, you caused the altercation largely by getting a dude that was confused and out of it.
Yeah.
To get aggressive with your taser deployments.
No, I'm with you. I think I'd be curious to see if they charge this guy.
So no, they didn't. They dropped all the charges.
Of course.
They also are on Bodycam, basically talking about how they know his dad's a cop, and that's when they start bringing in the drugs. That he's probably intoxicated on something.
Oh, I see. They knew who he was.
I don't think during that I think when they got him identified, they found out.
Stop fucking resisting. You got it? Kicking too, so watch his legs. They kicked me in the fucking head too.
What if you take it?
Hey, hold on, let him put this around his legs.
That is not normal behavior. Hey,
you all right? You guys all right?
Yeah, he just kicked both of us in the fucking head. Hey, can you grab my hat, Goldstein, please?
I'm surprised if he got assaulted with FD and police. I'm kind of surprised they didn't stick with the assault. Because you're trying to render aid. Because I have the same argument, right? You'll get people in a hospital and crazy, high, or otherwise, you kick a nurse in the face. And I get it that there's some knowingly and intentionally that kind of has to be there. That's almost completely subjective at this point, unless you have a medical person that comes in and says it. But I do think that there was a way of getting him out of that car that probably takes a little bit more time. The only reason why I would side with that idea is because there was no real crime outside of the accident itself, which, unless you're going to do injury to a tree, isn't really an accident. And if you believed there was some sort of intox involved, and they were kind of having that discussion there, he's got to be on something. I don't know if Fire was the one that said that or if PD was the one that said that, but they had talked about him possibly being high. With medical there, you're not going to be the one to make that determination unless you got something explicit. But, yeah, I already took points from PD. I'm going to take 5 more for the taser deployment.
And this might be why they dropped the charges here. Article says, so Post has Police Officer Standards and Training in California has a section that teaches police officers to recognize the effects of a brain seizure and how to handle it appropriate. The workbook specifically says, do not restrain them. Any agitated behavior that a person may be showing during or after an episode should not be perceived as deliberate hostility or resistance to the officer.
Get wrecked by training.
So
yeah,
straight up your training tells you not to do exactly what you're doing here. Yeah. Then
that's a good lawsuit then. If it's within the training standards, you sign the dotted line. It sucks. But
it's
you were going to lose.
Section that tells you don't do this.
Yeah, you were going to lose. So I will take. Where's Fire? They really should have known better. I'm going to take a lot of points because they punted that. That is their area of expertise. They are on scene. They should have really taken more initiative in figuring out and also advocating for the patient. Right, that's their job. PD. You should take 150 from Fire?
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely should know better.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
They should not have handed off, man. That was
a medical call.
They should have controlled that. I mean, and altered mental state. The guy's in complete his brain.
Yeah.
You know, in that period, yes.
So I'm gonna take. I'll take 5 more here. I feel better. And again, this is the knee-jerk reaction is to say, I don't like the way this looks. We're gonna take it. It's the reason why we try to deep dive these as much as we can. But given the totality of circumstances, I do believe that's going to be a good lawsuit. There's a lot of hem-hawing and dialogue that's used on the lawsuit side of it. Like, oh, I feel like I'll never be able to drive again or whatever. But I don't think that law enforcement caused the injuries. If there's any injuries that they did cause, it was likely at the handcuffing process. But like the injury to his face, all of that stuff happened during the accident. It's going to be really hard to determine unless there's like really good forensics done on him, which injury came from him getting into custody and which came from him fighting. But I do think dropping the charges makes a bit more sense, especially if they knew to recognize it. But I really think fire should be just as implicated as PD, and PD has to be because it is in your training. I'm with that. Bring back robot cops. Sorry. If you don't get irritated that this guy's resisting, it probably doesn't escalate that much.
We need AI firefighters because Google
kidding.
AI knew more what the symptoms of seizures are than they did.
Right. Stupid.
Police training, many officers
But nobody cares because they're firefighters. It's kind of a small dude here.
get tased to experience their equipment firsthand.
Oh,
But
yeah,
not
very
everyone
smart, bro.
flies in the air while
Defy
riding
gravity.
the lightning. Don't worry, he got right back up. During police
incredible.
training, many officers get
Core strength.
tased to experience their equipment.
That was not my reaction.
They should have got him to the ground quickly, man. They could have like torn his
Really
shoulders
jacked up his shoulders, right?
easily.
Firsthand.
Hey, this
Get him to the mats.
This is that deputy arresting right there.
But not everyone flies in the air while riding
This is also why we actually interlock arms. We actually like loop our arm. It sucks because you could totally get tased, but there's a way of holding that's a little better than what they did here.
the lightning.
Switch
Don't
the two
worry.
twin bed mattresses to prison cell mattresses. I
No
mean, get one
kidding.
match. You know?
And they got county money too. Like they have no excuse. If this is like a 5-person department, I get it. But like county, you at least got like 12 or 15 sworn at the smallest. I've seen some that I'm sure are smaller, but like, come on now.
He
Come
got
on
right
now.
back up. During
That's kind of funny. Deputaz, I'm gonna take one for letting your boy fly like that.
Big 5 from admin for the mattress.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that one. Taking 5.
Gonna fly like an eagle to the mattress.
Sarge, not everything is a 2-person job. Bullshit. Oh wait, I'm in this. Look. For real. We'll probably get sauce for this music, so I'll mute it.
That.
Y'all get the flavor. That's pretty incredible. This is what was my response to this? Can't confirm. That's top tier. Municipal for being sussy, we'll take 5. All right, we're going.
A car with fake plates on it, I'm taking your car.
Nassau Police Commissioner Patrick
Taking
Ryder
your
tells
car.
News 12 they're now looking into the vendor who sold us this decorative license plate.
We will go back at that seller.
Bye,
Keith. Good night, Keith.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
Sleep
I'll be there
tight.
Thursday.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you on Thursday, brother.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'll be late Tuesday again. We're working Valentine's Day events this week.
You mean Thursday? I will be
Thursday.
early probably Thursday because I have to drive
Thursday.
to Houston. So I'll give you guys some after party this evening. If you'd like to join the after party, you can do so by joining either the YouTube membership program or our Patreon group. And for as little as $1 a month, you can hang out. We're gonna play. What was it called again? Hold on. The Headliners. I had a blast with that.
And say, hey, you're selling these things. They look awful real.
News 12 recently uncovered anyone can buy a fake license plate online. New York state law says the sale of decorative plates is illegal. Commissioner Ryder says their search for fake plates can also potentially prevent other crimes.
They're doing robberies with these type of fake plates. They're doing drug dealing with these type of plates. They're driving their cars illegal with these type of plates.
State troopers say they made at least one arrest on the island of someone using fake plates.
When troopers are on the roadway, they're constantly running plates.
In New York?
Yeah.
I feel like that... It's what
A whole one arrest, Josh.
Traffic infractions.
You're driving a car with...
That's like a .00000000001 per capita.
The most populous island, I'm probably up there with on the world. Like that's a very populous area.
Second most populous island is Japan.
Oh, it's probably true.
Technically.
That's probably true.
Because the whole country's an island.
Yeah, that's probably true. But still.
And I guess if you count Mexico City because it's on a lake.
Oh, like it's actually like.
Yeah. You could it's a third.
This is state police. Bro, I'm taking points. You made a mountain out of a molehill. Nassau.
Mm-hmm. Also, is it actually illegal to sell those? Because can't you just buy them decorative and put them on your wall or something?
Yes. So it's going to be, they should have said it's illegal to put it on a car.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way you're prohibiting the sale of those. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be like making like decorative guns illegal. Like a gun, you can prohibit people from and all that kind of stuff. There's some case law on it. I'm with you and the constitutionalists that are like, whatever, I thought this was a free country. But there is case law and arrests that back up the idea that you can regulate a firearm, but you cannot regulate a toy unless there was something weird, like lead in it or something like that. I don't know. That's administrators not knowing what they're talking about, per the usual. Oh, it's the bees.
You're going the wrong way on the road.
The wrong way.
Yeah, you need to be.
Also,
hit 'em.
Black tasers.
Sauce.
Why?
Be on that side of the road.
I didn't get you.
You did. Don't touch me. You touched me. I don't like you assaulting me, sir. I didn't move towards you or nothing.
Ooh, New Year's Eve.
Now, it would be offensive and provocative contact, but once you're in custody, they do have the right to escort you to control your movement.
We track fatalities, we can track DUIs, we can track arrests, but what we really can't track is the lives that we save out there. And we absolutely know that.
This speech is too much. We can track the lives of the people we save. Every pit a trooper does, his hat gets wider. That would be... Could you imagine the skit for that? This guy just walks out and it's like he has to drive a convertible because of how broad his hat is. Jacoby, what's going on, homie? Also, Jacob was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here.
That's his alt account.
That's his alt account right there? Nice.
That is happening out there. So I know you guys could probably be in a million other places tonight. Your families are probably at home getting ready to celebrate, and you probably have other family members over, and you're not there, and you're here.
Snacks complaining about
thank
the
you for being
30-minute
here.
episode.
There are people that planned.
Bro, this commands to us being nice because the cameras are here. But you know how many holidays I worked that like command wasn't even there? Like the most I had was like a lieutenant. That was like he'd shut the briefing like, "Hey, y'all better be plan P. I swear if I got to leave this station, I'm gonna beat somebody." Like, you realize where we work, right? Like they call it Eggtown for a reason. Like it's a holiday. Like we're gonna be lucky to not shoot somebody today. Like, anyways, they're doing it up for the cameras here
To make good decisions tonight because they knew you would be out there.
Detectives.
There are people that are going to potentially make a bad decision and make a better decision because they'll realize that you're out there tonight. There's those that are going to make a bad decision and you're going to be there before they can hurt someone. We can't be there every single time, everywhere, but we'll be there tonight. And the fourth thing, there are families who will not have tragedies because you're out there tonight. Otherwise, what? Don't ever forget that every single time. What you're doing is so incredibly important. You're not with your families. You're here instead. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for the support we have. You guys are awesome.
Part of me gets a little warm at command staff. I never once got that speech. I worked a lot of holidays. I was a rookie for a while, so we worked every holiday. So.
Welcome back to another episode of Ride with the Hive. I'm Corporal Ernst.
My dog had an intro.
We're out patrolling Salt Lake County. It is New Year's Eve, and we're just looking for impaired drivers.
Oh, we need to drop some.
This car was going 45 miles an hour.
How many likes do we have?
Speed limit.
Not
Did we
enough.
get
You lazy
110?
bums. 83.
83? If you guys get 110, I give chat points.
Right there is 30.
Joseph
Still at
Smith
44.
giving a speech. That's pretty good. I'll give chat points for that.
45, 46.
I got a genuine chuckle out of me.
47.
Oh, the ticket princess.
Hello. Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Corporal Ernst with Utah Highway Patrol. The reason I stopped is you're going a little bit fast.
Yes, sir.
So the speed limit was 30. The speed limit sign we passed. And you were at 47.
Okay.
So that's why I stopped. Is there anybody in the back?
No, sir.
Can you just crack that down so I can...
30 on a non-residential? Come on.
That's a speed trap.
Thought this was a free country. Ooh. I don't even know that it would have registered to me if that car was going above
This is
the
what
speed.
tiny towns do.
I probably let.
You'll be going 80 a little randomly. It's like, yep, 45, and with no warning.
You could
and
damn
there's
near
a cop sitting right behind it.
You could probably get away with 30 in a school zone in front of me. I never had schools open at the time
Dude,
that I was working, but like
We have those now. I've
No
driven
way.
in them. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I was going to ask you and Bill about it. I was like, have y'all ever seen a 30? I think it was McKinney
Oh, God bless Texas.
that had them.
They're
Yeah.
like, no, we got cross guard. That's fine. Golly.
See you back there? Thank you. Appreciate
It's
that.
all my snow wearing. So
Gotcha. Do you have your driver license? What are you up to tonight?
I just dropped a friend off. I went snowboarding today.
Oh, yeah. Is this your car?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the proof of insurance for it?
I do.
Where are you coming from right now?
So I went from Park City down here to drop my friend off, and now I'm headed home.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anything to drink tonight at all?
No, sir.
When do you think the last time was you had something to drink?
No, I'm in Utah. You
no,
don't have
like-
bars.
11 o'clock this morning.
Oh, this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go check out your car and your license. I'll be right back, okay?
Yes, sir.
You had any caffeine this evening?
I walk up there
It's
and
not
I can
legal here.
smell an odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from the car. And his speech seems slurred to me on certain words. And his eyes are glossy and bloodshot. I did a precursor check of his eyes. They're moving in a jerking motion.
A precursory check of his eyes.
If only we had Bodycam to corroborate any of this.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I tell you what, the day Bodycam can pick up ETOH, like as a sensor, that would be rad. Or weed, for that matter. Kimini.
Says he hasn't had anything to drink. I asked when the last time was that he had something to drink. He said 11 o'clock this morning. So I am going to have him do tests just to make sure he's okay. Sides, just, and then just put your feet together for me so they're touching, heels and toes touching. So they're all the way touching. Yeah, there you go. And then I just want you to look at my fingertip while I look at your eyes, okay? You have brown eyes?
Yes, sir.
They're beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Feel like you understand it?
Yeah.
Any questions on it?
These M81
sorry.
Okay.
are legit.
Yeah, just get back in that position, and then your first step from that position is going to be 1, okay? So if you understand, you can begin.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. This is good, babe. 5,
Just do the best you remember, yeah?
6, 7, 8.
So we got at least 6 points here.
Okay, and you can turn back around. Just put your feet back together. You can come this way a little. I just don't want you so close to traffic. Do you have anything in your mouth?
Mom says they're
Can you just lift your tongue up for me? Like point your head down and lift your tongue up. Like lift your tongue up to the top of your mouth. Okay. So this thing is called a preliminary breath test, okay? You just seal your lips around that little straw and blow until I tell you to stop.
Blow into it. Why is this body cam
Blow
on
out.
his waist?
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. Grab that little straw for me if you would. How much total do you think you had to drink?
Like all day today?
Really, it's
Yeah.
fine 'cause
Like
I
a
put the
beer or
mic where the
two?
Bodycam
Beer
should
too.
go.
Like, what time was the last time?
Like 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock
Yes,
in the
sir.
morning
Yes, sir.
or at night?
This
But
morning.
we have
yeah.
seen some cops wear it there, and it's the worst footage.
The legal limit's .05 in Utah. This guy's screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's GG.
What did he blow?
So .076. Okay.
Dumb.
Wrong state, wrong time. My boy, you would have been off scot-free anywhere else.
Free my boy.
This is wild. You know what? This is probably how California cops look at Texas cops. They're like, "Are you really messing with weed?" And you're like, "Yeah, dog." Like, you know what I mean?
If I smelt it, I dealt it.
Like, we're not worried about the Draco under the seat. I'm worried about
Yeah.
like they had a that's really cool. Not to teach you guys anything about paraphernalia, but it's called a 6-shooter, and it was literally like a cylinder that would preload like weeds, like marijuana, like cigarettes. It was wild. You'd preload it with paper. It had a grinder on the top and then like a plunger. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, I'm not gonna lie,
badass.
like this is kind of cool. It didn't have the one we had. He had just made some. Like there was like 2 or 3 roaches, and his roaches are used marijuana cigarettes. And so he had a couple in his car, and it reeked of weed. So we did the PC search. And that's where I found it. I kind of looked at it for a second. I looked at the side of it. And I was like, a 6-shooter. I thought it was a firework at first, but it like reeked of weed. And so I kind of took the top off, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And Bill was there for that. We gawked at this thing for a minute because I was like, "This is like commercial grade. Like this is clearly like in other states like a total common thing." But I was shocked.
Dude, they need to take that technology and just reconfigure it so you can just make super fresh tea bags.
Josh has never sounded so unhip. I'm also the guy that says fam and stuff still. I'm a millennial. I'm an older millennial.
When was the last time you used cannabis, do you think?
What was that?
When was the last time you used cannabis?
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke?
No, sir.
You never have?
No.
Any other substances today besides alcohol?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Well, with everything that I've seen today, I don't think you should have been driving tonight, man. I think you had something more recent than 11 o'clock this morning.
I haven't.
Okay, well, I don't think you should have been driving, okay? So I'm going to arrest you for DUI, okay? Just need you to put your hands behind your back for me.
Okay.
I need to be a cop in Utah. Oh my God. Bro, that guy would have been gone. That dude would have immediately did a T cut and been gone like he was trying to score a goal in the World Cup. I had to kick his legs.
Oh, that's... Damn, they had to cut in the cuff because it took them too long. Go back.
This is the most ginger cuffing I've ever seen in my life.
Bro is so nervous in front of the camera. Look at this. Jump cut. Why? Because he jumped.
All right, do those feel
Took
okay,
too
the
damn
handcuffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's next? Like,
Yeah, I'll go over everything with you.
okay.
I need to search
I just have
you.
a dog at home and like.
Is there somebody we can call to have them go check on it?
Yeah, my
Check on
roommate.
it. Yeah, we'll call them in a bit. Thank you for being respectful and cooperative. I'll do the same with you tonight, okay? I just got to search like your pockets and your waist.
Bro, extra thank you, dog. Like, I'm going to kick this down to PI. How about let's do that? I'm all right. I'm going to blade you for PI. And we're going to call it a day because that was the most friendly arrest I've ever
And
seen.
call an Uber.
Oh.
Because this is Utah.
Yeah.
Waistband, anything that's going to cut me in your pockets or anything? No. Okay.
No
Should we have to get in my
gloves.
car? Kush Cafe, so I assume this is some sort of cannabis product.
Kush
I'm going to have to
Cafe.
get a nick test and test that. It's
You're going to need gloves to touch. Whatever.
probably what that vape is used for. Looks like it might be some THC wax or something like that. So this nick test is for marijuana or THC, cannabis. It's called different things.
Oh, he's got
So
gloves for the test.
If it turns pink or purple, it's positive for the marijuana, and then if it separates, that's just like the last part that shows the positive result. So if you can see, it is turning pink, kind of that pink purple color.
Cannabis.
So you can kind of see
That
the
is
separation,
cannabis.
which is a
He only said he
positive
didn't smoke.
result. There's quite a few little, they're almost like crystals. There's quite a few in there, and then this vape pen. It looks like he's used that to smoke it, so I'm going to take that for paraphernalia.
That's what I literally said. He's vaping. Bro. I don't think you're getting contact high from vape or from like THC, like oil. I guess maybe a little bit, but it's the wrong way driver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, easy. Easy there, big
Car
fella.
just went wrong way.
Be cutting off cars. What's wrong with you?
Walking the intersection now.
That's a write up, old timer. He does edibles and vapes.
Yeah,
No
probably be good.
smoking.
I'm blocking the intersection.
Carter, I love you.
Hello.
That is indeed a dab, as the kids would say.
Corporal Anderson with Highway Patrol. The reason I stopped is you're going the wrong way on the road.
The wrong way.
Yeah, you need to be on that side of the road.
Yeah.
Real quick, while you're sitting there, do you mind if I just check your eyes? Is that right?
I think what he was saying is he was trying to go like normal.
A U-turn.
Is this a field training officer?
Yeah, he's trying to do what that car is doing.
Right. He was going, instead of going over there.
Yeah, he came from the freeway off ramp and just came right.
Why are we discussing it? He's going the wrong way, homie.
That's what it sounded like he said. He was trying to make that U-turn. Yeah. So.
Got to teach the rookie what a wrong way driver is.
Okay, so I'm
He
just
might not
gonna
know.
give you a citation for driving on the wrong side of the road.
Cool.
Okay.
Bladed
So
him.
right here it says that you need to wait 5 days, but don't wait more than 14. My ticket, yeah. You can't drive on the wrong side of the road.
Innocent mistake. I really didn't.
I understand that, but it's very dangerous.
Bro,
Right?
Dallas used to be so petty because it's so easy to do in downtown.
Oh, I know. It could be very bad.
Everything's a one way, but it's not clearly marked.
DUI. I'm just giving you.
And your map will lie to
No,
you.
Like a huge payment or.
Okay, just get home safe. Okay, I'm gonna back up and let you get on the plate on this vehicle. I can't see a temporary tag, and they never really came to a complete stop. If they did, they're driving in the bike lane right now, and they're
That's
going
a good
pretty fast.
That's a good DWI.
Oh, we're wrong way. What is going on right now?
Stop this car, dog.
Holy cow.
Not drunk.
You pedestrian, stop the car!
This is kind of a known after party area. They're like almost on the sidewalk right there. Hello.
How you doing, sir? My bad.
Not bad.
How you doing?
Not bad. The reason I stopped you, you just drove on the wrong side of the road there for a minute.
For real?
Yeah, when I don't know if you were trying to get around that car or. Is it your car? Oh, the.
I'm just gonna skip ahead and see what we got.
So
here.
they call it the after party. I just want to have you do some
That
tests
happens
real
on
quick,
our
just to
Patreon.
make sure you're okay to be driving.
That is. It's gonna
Would you
happen
mind
for
just
as little
putting
as
the
$1 a
cigarette
month.
out?
Is that a guardian light on his
you.
shoulder? Oh, Mando.
Yeah, let's just go right over here, okay?
Mando, it totally is. Oh no, he had to point that out. Hold on. For the this is State Boys. I'm just gonna get us to 30 real quick.
Then I just want you to look at my
Being
fingertip
cringe.
while I look at your eyes, okay?
Yes, sir.
You have brown eyes, right?
Yes, sir.
So just follow my finger with your eyes without moving
This
your head,
question
okay?
about eye color.
Oh, sorry. Move my head.
Yeah, just move your head.
I
a little.
know a little bit.
But
I guess technically it doesn't show bias because
Series
he's
of
asking
small-
everybody.
Yeah,
just do the best you remember.
Give it. Like that.
It's Utah. If they had blue eyes, he'd let him go.
Okay, you can stop. You decided to use. Just 6 inches up. What do you think you had to drink tonight?
It's New Year's. I had a slightly bit, not a lot though.
Like how much? Estimate how much
Not a
you had? Like
Other
a
kids.
couple drinks or what?
These kids are
Not even.
Grab that little straw for me.
I had below the
So
legal limit. That's how much I had.
0.147, okay? Almost no air on that. Do you think you're okay to be driving?
147. He got. We're gonna take some points from suspects for not resisting enough. Y'all are soft in Utah. I could be a cop there right now. Gosh, chat could be a cop there.
He was on the run in Colorado, and how he got outsmarted is absolutely hilarious.
205, do you want to try roadblock again or no?
Yeah, do it again. You guys can open up call.
Negative. Wait for these plows. Let's see what he does. Barbara, you get in front. See if he can slow down enough for a DVI.
PD for the back.
You're at a roadblock.
I'll allow PD for the back. Let's go. Let's go. For just existing.
With 3 plows, they got ISO shut down.
He made it through roadblocks, stop sticks, and pit maneuvers, but in the end, he was no match for a mighty fleet of snowplows. A car thief was on the run and called...
Bro, society. Let's go. Get some points to society. What are we at in likes?
94.
Gotta make it to 110.
16 of y'all are slacking.
Drop the likes. That's pretty good.
Colorado, and how he got out...
This doesn't tell us whether it's PD or not, but it's fine. What? Is it Kabuta?
It was an unusual sight to see in Tillman's Corner.
There's an idiot out there on the Bobcat.
For roughly 10 minutes, traffic cameras captured a skid steer as it inched along I-10 westbound from Rangeline Road to Highway 90, bringing traffic to a halt. The driver of the stolen equipment meandered around exit 15, doing circles in the grass and road, and at one point turning around and going the wrong way toward drivers who'd been forced to put it in park.
We just thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is happening.
It's just in awe that, an alley cat or bobcat can get on the...
An alley cat. I love society. Y'all make this worth it.
The interstate driving like a regular car.
An out-of-state asphalt crew told us they discovered their $100,000 piece of equipment had been stolen this morning and reported it to police. We're told it had been parked near Highway 90 and I-10 in a hotel parking lot.
It was around 8:30.
They're lucky this wasn't the ASP. They had a pit of that thing in the next week.
This morning, they saw that it was missing when they came out of their hotel room.
A sea of blue lights eventually circled the skid steer, and after he was surrounded, officers are seen aiming their weapons at him. One appears to fire some kind of projectile, but the suspect keeps driving and goes into the grass off the interstate near a ramp, where the peculiar pursuit finally came to an end.
The individual then attempted again to ram vehicles. Shots were fired from officers, and the vehicle was stopped.
How many shots did you hear?
I'd say 8. Crazy. But there's a lot of homeless in this area, so there's no telling. There's been people walking around in the parking lot all morning.
I'm gonna show up, be like, oh, he's sweaty. I don't want to touch him.
Right, he's sweaty and kind of combative.
You tase him.
Doing circles in the grid to a halt. Bound for murders captured.
On the Bobcat.
For roughly 10 minutes, traffic cameras captured a skid.
If you got that many of them, it's PD.
Yeah, it's probably PD. I'll give him 5. That's an unusual set of circumstances. Nobody else got hurt. I'll give him credit for that.
But man, your spotlights are blinding the crap out of me when I went by. I even got 15% window tint.
GSP would have showed up. Battle cats. I buy that.
We've seen that before.
We have indeed.
On there, so
Okay.
will you turn those off?
I will.
Okay. Yeah, it's 316-233 is the statute. You're actually committing a violation right now by doing that. I mean, anytime that spotlight hits any portion of those mirrors, windshields, or anything like that, it's a violation of the statutes there. Why do you guys do that? Is there a reason? I mean, is it just something that comes up?
It helps me look at the vehicle, see behaviors, observations that I can see.
Black, white, or Hispanics? Ooh. We used to call that profiling back in the day.
Oh, damn.
Damn. That's a big oof.
Not anymore, I guess they say. So.
Profiling would be on race or creed or gender or something like that.
Yeah, so if you saw a black male with dreads or something like that, you wouldn't be like, he's cool.
No. I stop a car based on
Behaviors. Not violations of law?
Also violations.
Okay. I thought we were going to turn that off. There we go. I hate to bother.
I mean, you made it easy. Just... Is it a little annoying that he's over there harassing you while you're on duty? Yes. But your boy
hit blinding me while I'm driving.
Your boy hit him with straight facts. We don't have ex-police officers. I'll give it to society. Straight facts, and that was PD. Ooh. We're gonna take 10. That was...
Christy says there's longer soundless footage of this out there. That's wild.
The
We'll
balls
drop
on
the
that
link,
dude.
Christy.
Yeah, Christy. One job.
Put it in the Discord and maybe we'll watch it.
Last 4.
On the 14th of July,
Oh, we're voting old men
2024,
again.
2 officers were conducting
14th?
patrols on Marine Parade, Labrador, in Gold Coast, Queensland.
This is Dan's
Officers
people.
in a marked police car
Sort of.
noticed a silver sedan
Car.
driving recklessly behind them. Drawing their attention to the vehicle, they allowed it to pass before attempting a traffic stop. As officers signalled the driver to pull over, the vehicle sped off, prompting a short pursuit. However, for road safety reasons, officers quickly decided to terminate the
Soft.
chase. The driver was later identified as Jeffrey Johannesson, 53 years old. The brief
not that
pursuit led officers down a side street, and as they returned to Marine Parade, they spotted the same vehicle again. This time, officers
longer
attempted
footage of the
another
skid
traffic
chase.
stop.
Okay,
The
never
second
mind.
attempt was successful. Officers
would be cool,
quickly
though.
approached the vehicle, ensuring Johannesson had no opportunity to drive off again. For legal reasons, some vision and audio have been redacted. During the arrest, Johannesson slammed his car door on a female officer's hand, causing a laceration.
During the arrest. What is she doing?
Is that you fast forwarding or is that the video
That's the
itself?
video.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Girlfriend, help! My boy's got him in a handcuffing position. And she's, come on. My sister in Christ. Come on. That's,
Get over here.
Some of the blood is visible on the police vehicle, a result of the officer's injury.
we got her. Okay, I'll give her a little bit of a pass. She's got an alley.
Marine Pride.
I wouldn't want to touch this guy if I had an alley too. Let's turn off the siren, yeah?
Put your hands there. Don't move.
Why not put him in the car? It's whatever. Sit down under.
Failed to stop.
You got
and
it,
you
jerk.
invaded police. Yes. If you have any emergent reason why you invaded police, I'm Constable Police. I'm registered. And you're under arrest.
That hurt, bro. And I'm busted for it. Yes, I will.
You were told to pull over and you failed to stop.
God, but
This dude's 53. That is a rough
Yes,
53.
I come back and twice I had to stop.
It's an Australian 53.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. You're told to pull over and you didn't pull over.
The police officer was later treated by paramedics and transported to hospital. Police arranged for Johannesson's dog to be collected by Gold Coast Council Animal Management.
Oh, good on them.
Charges: did drive UIL motor vehicle, serious assault police officer causing bodily harm.
Yeah.
Sentence: Johannesson was sentenced to 12 months in jail, suspended, and received a 3-year driving suspension. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
You're welcome.
What kind of PD is this? What's QLD police?
Queensland.
I'm guessing that's municipal.
Maybe. I thought that was like
At
a
least they got him.
region or something.
At least, I mean, Casey got hurt, but that's fine. She handled that.
Welcome
It was
back.
an
Upping
Australian
safety
state, but yeah, it looked municipal. So,
Yeah.
and speed.
Crikey.
Those are a few of the goals of an AI-powered program adopted by the Redman Police Department. Force Metrics aims to transform how officers respond to emergencies by assisting with decision-making. So we're going to hear about this revolution in policing this morning. Joining us in studio, Redman Police Chief Daryl Lowe is here, and the CEO of Force Metrics, Andre McGregor. Welcome to both of you. Good to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with you, Andre. I think just walk us through how this platform works and how it assists first responders.
Yeah, so Force Metrics was made specifically for dispatch and patrol operations. So if you think about an officer when they're interacting with someone is saying, what are the safety issues they need to deal with? Are they trying to harm me, harm someone in the community? Do they have...
Kimini. Pro tip or top tip. Doors and fingers are a bad combo. For sure, for sure.
a mental health need, and they're kind of using gut instinct at some points, reading the person, maybe some prior information they remember. We put it in like a Google Meets Zillow Redfin experience on their smartphone or on their computer to say, does this person have autism, dementia, PTSD, or some other concern? but doing it at their fingertips.
Okay, where is this information coming from? What are you pulling from to gather this information?
Yeah, so we're sitting on public safety systems that are a closed network. So we're not sort of in social media or scraping the internet, but rather 911 calls, police reports.
This already, it's called premise history. So CAD, which was the system that we used to dispatch and handle 911 calls. If I went to producer Juan's house, and every single time I went to producer Juan's house, you know, he tried to jump out of a window because he was crazy, I could put that on premise history. More so if Juan was a known and affiliated gang member and fought the police every time we showed up, it would put it on the premise history. So anytime that address gets pulled, that call text is in there and dispatch can advise us, hey, by the way, there's premise history here. Like,
so does dispatch advise you, or is that something you pull up on your MDC?
Most time dispatch would tell us. Same thing, like we had universal precautions for people that had like highly communicable diseases. So you had like, and they would just say it because they don't want to put your medical information out there. But if you had anything from like HIV or something like that, like it was common, like we found that out through, so you could attach it to a person or attach it, and all they would say is universal precautions. They wouldn't tell us what it was, but you would just assume like it's probably something I don't want to catch. So
just assume that it's the worst thing you're going to get.
Right, exactly.
Treat
Prepare,
it that way, yeah.
Prepare for that.
You know, you even include Bodycam.
I'm hoping they'll show us the actual, I'm assuming it's like an app or something like that.
Right.
Because the way he made it sound was that like it's basically just like a shinier, glossier version of what you're talking about.
So an
to
AI
make it,
tool?
like, maybe easier. Yeah, to make it easier. He called it like a Zillow Redfin thing, which basically means like a house search app thing, which makes me think it's going to be just a prettier version that shows up on your map.
Hit it right on the head. It makes him sound like he's doing something.
100%. They glitz up an existing thing, call it an innovation. It's like when Uber tried to do that Uber shuttle that was just the bus. But
it's a predetermined route that happens every day. You're like,
yeah, it's we're innovating. We're actually gonna do Uber, but at predetermined convenience stops near major.
So you mean like public transportation?
Oh,
and you just buy a pass. You just buy a pass. So you can get on it whenever you want.
Yeah, there was another one where they were trying to make like green ships, and it's like powered by the wind, and it's like, oh, you mean just like a sailboat?
Like sailboat, right?
Yeah.
Now you can say we're gonna make sailboats great again, and find some way to make them out of like a lightweight material so they're more efficient.
No, it's an AI powered.
Her
AI assisted wind powered
machine.
Water vehicle, water conveyance.
Nice.
Video as well.
So how would this technology be useful for an officer in a situation like he's describing?
So it puts all the information about a specific location or about an individual or a vehicle at the officer or dispatcher's finger.
This is kind of like me coming out and being like, so guys, so imagine a meme that moves. But like typically we have an issue with putting like that much data, like video data is like kind of dense. So rather than that, I'm just going to take like a sequence of like 12 pictures and put them together, and they're going to play at a certain amount of time so that the picture
like
moves.
Digital flip book.
Yeah. So these are digital flip book memes.
Yeah.
For $15 a day, you can have access to digital, like, I don't know.
And
again,
my favorite part
people
about
pay
this?
for OnlyFans, I guess.
This is the second time he has said this puts all this information at the officer's fingertips, like that specific phrasing.
Right.
Like, this is the company's brochure phrasing. 100%.
He said, Josh is coming out. Jacob said, bro's been up. Can confirm.
Fingertips. So the more information that the officer has going into a circumstance, the better outcomes.
So did you see problems that needed to be addressed with this technology, and that's why it was developed?
Yeah, I'll admit I was an FBI special agent.
They're called GIFs.
I was not in the position of Chief Lowe and pulling people over on a daily basis, but I unfortunately had one of my academy classmates shot and killed in the line of duty, and looking at it later, we identified that the person wanted to kill law enforcement, but it was stuck in a paragraph in a report, and so I wanted to be part of the decision or the solution. And so I essentially took a page out of Moneyball and said, hey, how do I take data that's complex and make it simplistic? And so I put engineers in cop cars around the country and I said, go pull people over, or actually go to a domestic violence call. And what we realized was there's a lot of data in public safety. It's just very hard to access, and it's definitely hard to access in real time.
Right. And so speaking of those real-time situations, Chief Lowe, when your officers arrived on the scene, how would they exactly deploy this technology? Is it on an app, or how is it used?
So they have it both on the smartphone and on the computers in the car.
There it is. So
I do like the little icon thingies that are like alcohol, homelessness, whatever, in terms of quick
that I
access
get, right?
To basic information. Also, the way that you mentioned it of like dispatch would tell you. I wonder if they had problems with dispatch not telling them things.
So it was kind of incumbent on us. So like, let's say like I had, there was typically like 3 factors we had to confirm if there was like we wanted to put we called them field cards. For someone being like gang affiliated, right? So this would happen a lot of times. You deal with teenagers that are breaking into apartments or breaking into cars. We'd go arrest them. We had to see, one, if they just straight up identified as such. You would still want like a tattoo or like, we called them colors, but it's basically like they're wearing like red or they're wearing blue, traditional gang affiliated colors. And there's also behavior. So there's like a criminal act that they're doing likely involved in a gang is kind of what we're looking. You had to read a couple of different factors, but if you had enough of them, you'd made a field card. That field card would basically go to TLETs, and TLETs was like our database, unironically, right? That kept people information. In the same way that when you got a CHL as a person that wanted to carry a firearm, it would attach automatically to you when they ran your name. A field card could put a gang affiliation hit on your name under a return. But like it had to be tied to a report. I had to see it in person, and I would have to fill out the field card. So it went to this poor person that worked in an office that probably got a stack of these a day to go in and embed these so that if we ever ran people on a call, we also put surnames. So typically they would have like a little Kool-Aid or whatever the kid's name was or whatever. And so they would have, if they went by surnames and they were failing to ID for you, they had a picture, like we would take a picture of them in the jail. We would attach that picture, any known scars or tattoos, and it would tie it to who we actually knew they were. So it was actually very helpful when, again, kind of what he's describing. You're in the field with somebody, you're pulling them over, and you're like, wow, that's a really permanent or prevalent tattoo. I kind of think that this person, potentially based on their activities involved in a gang, when I run them, some of that history would come back to you. My only fear with that, ours, unless you continued to do criminal acts, it would eventually go away. So like, let's say you're 13 and you're getting recruited into a gang because you're in middle school. We hook you up, you get into a diversionary program, and you don't get interacted with in law enforcement for like 5 years. I don't remember what the cutoff was, but it would go away typically. A little Kool-Aid was definitely played for sure. But anyways, this is not new. None of this is new. I'm going to take points from admin.
So Snack said, from what I understand, this compiles info from court docs, police reports, home and other agencies, federal, civil, and public databases, including fire, to make it pretty for officers. So do y'all have the same?
So it wouldn't skim.
Access?
We had to, it had to be manually inputted. So the only way that you would get it is like somebody had to take the time, and this is where I understand it. Someone had to take the time and actually attach it to a location or attach it to a person. So there's a lot of paperwork filled in with that. Like there's a lot of time. So yes, to a certain degree, I do think it's important, and I think it could be a very powerful tool. My only fear is what happens if it's an alias, or what happens, like for instance, is a good example where you get guys that fail to ID, but I don't know that they're failing to ID to me. So I'm going to use Juan's information. Like, well, he looks Hispanic, they're about the same age, they're about the same build. And I use Juan's information when I get pulled over and arrested for an emergency domestic. Yeah. and all of this AI tool attaches all this to Juan's stuff. They issue a warrant for Juan's arrest. AI has no way of being held accountable for that type of stuff, but now Juan's getting yanked out of his house because, you know, he's trying to file an accident report, and they're like, whoa, like Juan's wanted for, like, AI is not going to know that that's incorrect. You can't take account for fieldcraft. And again, if somebody knows generally what this stuff is looking for, I'm sure it could be helpful in certain situations, but like, I'd be curious to see the long-term effects. And then what happens if it pulls something incorrect? I got terrorist watch list hits all the time. Well, not all the time, but it happened periodically. And they called them sound X's. So if your name was close to somebody else's name that was on a legit terrorist watch list, like Interpol hits and all that stuff, it would show up on my call. And if it just so happens to be Juan Sanchez is a known MS-13 member, it's like, whoa, bro, you know how many Juan Sanchez's there's got to be? Or how often that'll come up in a sound X, right? Like, well, that's not fair at all. You'll fail background checks for that for no good reason. Like, you'll fail a bunch of stuff. John Smith, the same thing. He's some Aryan Brotherhood guy. And you just happen to have a really common name. That's kind of my only, and it was up to the officer to determine whether or not there was some validity to that. The problem is if it's coming to you in call text, well, maybe I'm approaching this guy with a gun because I think that he's normally going to fight, normally going to do whatever. Or my decision-making process, if you think about the guy that got tased from the car accident, right, that had a seizure, well, fire told me to pull him out. I was given information ahead of time that said I'm good to go hands-on, where normally, clearly, their initial behavior around it was as a medical call. I'm just here to make sure this guy doesn't beat anybody up. So that's kind of that's my only issue is what happens when eventually, because it will, they pull a sound X or they pull whatever, they attach it to the call, it manipulates the way that officers approach the call, and somebody
there's
gets
a
hurt.
lawsuit.
Right. Are they going to,
there will be.
well, the small text says it's up to the officer to determine, like, I'd be curious to see how long that lasts. But I don't hate the idea. Implementation's going to be hard, and I don't like it adding stuff unless there's a human or at least a fail-safe to make sure that they're not inaccurately prescribing something to a location or a call. Same thing like an apartment. It's what we used to suck about apartments is you would get people that cycled out of those all the time, right? And so, you know, Juan and I are prolific meth dealers, and it's like the biggest bust of all time. But like we had a bunch of weapons and booby traps or whatever. And you just happen to have a missing package and call 911, and 5 officers show up with rifles out because they think that that's what it is. I'm going to go to this one real quick.
Right there.
Yeah. It's going to be towed.
What?
It's going to be towed.
Okay, are you a property manager here?
No.
Is this your car?
Yeah, it's going to be towed.
Okay, is this...
My brother in Christ. On a not jacked up truck. Also, dude, like this poor truck. The rear taillight's gone. It's been towed a few times. The front bumper's gone. They've just been picking this thing up. It's a nice truck too. It's a FX4 full cab, like full bed. It's a big old truck, man.
It's your car.
That's somebody who I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be towed.
Okay. Can you come out? Can you come out and talk to me?
He's totally gonna have a cutting device.
I'll let you know you're being audio and video recorded, okay? Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
Because somebody who knows the owner of the truck says
it's gonna be towed.
Oh. Okay. Do you have ID?
No, not on me.
Okay. So who owns the truck?
Identification?
I just cash I was trying to get something that I'm missing from my truck.
Whose truck is it?
You vouch for me.
Primo. Somebody. Come on.
I don't know the name.
Also, the tailgate's gone.
Okay. I thought you said you knew the owner of the truck.
Stealing catalytic converters. It's no good.
Somebody told me that's gonna be towed, but
this was the one theft of all thefts that I wanted to catch in the worst way. Catalytic converter thefts at the time when I was still a police officer were terrible. They were pulling like palladium or some shit out of these catalytic converters. They finally caught the lady that was basically creating the trade, There was a lady down in Houston that would collect all these things, transport them to Detroit, and they had like a smelting place in Detroit where they were able to extract the palladium and sell it for like dumb money.
Wow.
It was like almost outpacing like human trafficking for profit. That's how crazy. And they were stealing them hundreds a day in our city. So it was wild.
Yeah. So what are you taking off of it?
I was trying to get somebody stole my catalytic.
So you're taking.
I was trying to just the tube.
So you're taking the catalytic converter?
Oh, they had no catalytic. At least a pipe. It's a pipe.
Just like in 41. Contacting one. Hold on. Hey.
Yeah.
Incredible job.
Hey, leave that. Put it down.
Why am I putting it out?
Wait. Put your hands behind.
Under arrest?
Under arrest, sir?
Right now.
¿Por
I'm
qué?
just picking up my stuff.
You understand what I'm saying? You're under arrest. You're under arrest. Other officers are coming. I got you. Okay? What did it say right here? If you try to move, you go on the ground. You understand? I got a taser and I will use it. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're fucking saying.
Okay.
Hermana, let's go.
Grab us and
I didn't.
Bro.
That.
Chelsea out here crushing it straight into a handcuff position. Mwah. Chef's kiss, girlfriend. Great job. Very, very dominant.
Watch.
Yeah. Oh, did she have one?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, we'll ignore it. She's doing good.
She did crush it. But I wanted to illustrate here real quick. It's a crazy dominant position on this guy's arm. She's actually pinned her shoulder up against his side. She's got her left hand chalking. It's called chalking, but his elbow. And then she's continuing to push his wrist with her dominant hand. Double C clamp, like that thing ain't going nowhere. Good on her. Great job. I'd take her any day for a backup.
I have my.
Don't reach for anything.
No, I have my ID right there.
Oh, you said you didn't have ID.
He's good at this.
Over here.
Okay. You need to slow everyone down, dog. There's still people coming to you code. Like, clear the air. Like I hate it when people do this. This pisses me off so much. I can't tell you how many times I've like cooked it in hot, like risking getting written up, come and make it scene, and like tires squealing as I'm hitting the brakes, and they're like, "Oh, you can 22." Since when? Were you gonna tell me before I went and? Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so right there.
Chelsea, you can clear the air too. Come on now.
Okay.
Stop moving.
One
Third
person
officer that's doing nothing.
Put gloves on at a time.
Face the car. Stop. Listen. Stop trying to kick. Stop. I'm not freaking like you stupid.
Okay, you're under arrest. You're under arrest.
Stop. That's not, they're gonna come against your ass very soon. Very soon. Your freaking door is gonna collapse. And then they have nations all over the world, all dictators, and they got militia.
Did he say your nation's gonna collapse?
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh, he says Russia will be taking over the U.S. soon. Amazing.
I'm here for it, dog. This guy's on his soapbox now. He's like, whatever. I'm going to jail.
This
seems like a nice guy.
Very soon, America will be burned, according to the Bible.
According to the Bible, okay.
Burned.
Hey, you know what? You can't steal a catalytic converter from that bad boy right there. You can't steal pretty expensive.
The Russians, you're gonna show,
Yeah.
free, you know? Oh, we get a bucket.
He talked to the RP.
Oh, he's got like a real ID.
So.
Like that's like a legit state issued one because it had like the little barcode in the back.
Yeah.
So that's legit government issued.
I'm gonna be dashed to the wall.
Sweep your own area.
And the state ID.
Damn.
This motherfucker was lying.
They asked him for one ID. He had multiple.
He might have like dual citizenship or like he got like a visa And I think with a visa, they'll get you a driver's license because you need it for work. And so you might not get a state ID, but you can get at least a driver's license, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a green card, you have the green card,
yeah,
and then you've got. Yeah, I had my driver's license because I didn't get my citizenship till 18, so I had my driver's license just like a regular, literally the same as everybody else's.
Yep. Yeah, because that only pertains to your ability to drive. That has nothing to do with residency, and so it'll still be. And for that, it's just tied to an address and all that stuff.
And
but
just like him, I always had both on me.
Yeah. It's the smart way to do it. I mean, I keep my ID and my driver's license on me. Like that's kind of how the second
I don't carry a damn thing.
I don't carry a damn thing. There's one.
I just tell him to him verbally.
That's true though. That's the better way to do it.
It's a bitch.
Verbally.
You know, the USA is a bitch.
Shit. Look at you and look at me. I ain't reaching for shit. You got a pen and paper? I'll write it down for you.
My hands are staying up here, bro.
Exactly.
No, you don't have to be here.
I respect
No,
the game.
I'm here because I'm trying to tell. God told me to tell you. You can tell these stupid people that the Russians and the Chinese, you don't even know how this world works. You speak to the Jewish?
This guy's left.
The Russian Orthodox?
So what do we got here?
Jewish? Stars of Russia?
Take a sip of coffee. Oh, he took the fender and everything.
Oh, so he was stripping this thing
He
out.
was stripping that truck, yeah. Good job getting the digital evidence. Yeah, he broke the back. This is real common. In case you're wondering, boys and girls, this is like taught. I don't know why it is. It's the passenger. You're the least likely to notice it, like with it's just parked there, because as a driver, you typically only approach the driver's side. But for some odd reason, they break the rear passenger window. They're going to take anything out of your car. I don't know why this is a thing, but they do this. Every once in a while, if they're just taking something out of your driver's seat, they'll break but like typically you don't put anything in the driver's seat because you sit in it. But this window's, especially with trucks, because they're looking for guns, at least in the South. Everywhere else, probably not, but super common. Oh, my boy. My boy was taking everything. So this was his truck. This isn't the FX4. This is that white Ford that was next to it. Dude.
He was under the car with the tools. Taking stuff. He said it was his truck? He said it was his friend's truck. What other one just came in? He didn't say anything about that. I was talking to him and he started getting all squirrely. He was like looking, target glancing funny. We have to get the tools back to the truck. No, you're not. Hey, you got to stop. And he just walking back together. Yeah, he was trying to get back in that truck and that's when I grabbed him. Oh, so he was trying.
Oh, dude, this poor truck, dude. Oh. Okay, this is police.
I mean, it's all right there. Just put it back.
Right? It's not theft if I put it back, bro. For Chelsea, just crushing it. We're gonna go 40. She seen a good backup. I'm gonna send him a little bit. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I gotta take 5 back. The Apple Watch. Sorry.
Yeah.
She did lose herself some points, but that was good. I mean, he didn't let it get too out of hand. One more, and then we'll do this recruiting one.
Shit. Black Taser. Oh shit.
I was used to Spanish and I thought he was saying ahorita. And I was like, bro, he's ready. He's like, do it now.
Oh shit.
He's tweaking. It's like that. Look, okay, America's Finest can learn to close their door. He's so lucky.
They really can't. We'll see. Them get stolen.
What's he taking off?
Oh shit.
The OC.
Holy shit!
Cool target.
Holy shit!
It's like a neighborhood target.
I mean, at least they didn't hurt the guy. There's not a when it escalated. There's an unarmed guy, so you're not using deadly force. Well, unless you're a female officer, you're not using deadly force. But
he's smaller.
But He is
Can maybe articulate it.
He is a bit small. He does have a pretty strong mustache, though. That counts for something.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like. Remember when
his pride wouldn't let him?
Yeah, you remember when Vegeta got a mustache? He's kind of got that. If he had
that
longer,
looks exactly like him.
You know what I mean?
Just slightly spikier. Yeah,
it'd be kind of perfect. But the target backstop, this backstop's probably not a great choice if you had to do it. Word of advice: shoot for the pelvis if you got to do this, because one, it makes your angle instead of center mass. You aim a little bit lower. There's a lot more bone, like big bone, for it to hit what's in the pelvis. It also keeps them from running. You hit somebody in the pelvic bone, that's an attitude adjuster. They'll end up on the ground a lot quicker. Also, their hips don't move as much. Torso can move. Hips tend to stay with wherever your legs are taking you. But I agree that this wasn't a deadly force situation. He could have probably just tackled him. I mean, officers were clearly close. I'd take my chances as long as I didn't know that the guy was armed. But like, it is what it is. He got out bubbaed by the bubba here. I'm just gonna take one for lack of officer presence. That was a trooper. That guy had been on the floor. Speaking of troopers, they're doing some sussy stuff here.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was jujitsu. This is
purely for exercise because there's no
so
good
bad.
reason to do this.
I can do that with a weight.
I get kind of the idea here on that like rollover. It's just teaching you to move your neck to one side so you don't like get your neck crushed. But I don't know that I'd practice that. I understand practicing falling. I do think that should be taught. We actually were taught how to fall. That can save you from getting knocked out or breaking something on the way down. This is purely for exercise. That one guy was crushing it. For music. Hate this type of training. This is Redman training. So the concept behind Redman training is to train aggression. And so you're trying to teach one how to take a hit, because part of it's just not being surprised by it. A really good example of this is like in football, like when you practice in pads, because the whole idea is supposed to do it right. Same thing with boxing. When you spar, like the headgear really protects you from like the worst of it. But if you're too big a size difference, like let's say I'm fighting somebody half my size, even the headgear won't really help you. Or a really well-placed punch, it puts a lot of risk on the end user without a lot of learning. If you're squaring up to fight somebody in law enforcement, you've messed up already. You can break your hand. You can get knocked out. It's not a great...
Get your gun stolen.
A lot of that stuff, right? And also just boxing by nature is designed to focus you in on one person, as opposed to like being generally situationally aware. That's why a lot of people have moved to like mixed martial arts, because it's like, hey, let's get a dominant position so I can control this person, and then like make sure that I'm keeping my head up until help can get there, or I'm immobilizing this person because I don't want to fight him, because then it's a 50-50 shot on whether or not he punches me bad, or taking a punch is pretty much universally bad. You can lose your ability to see. You can get your bell rung, which will hurt your judgment. I prefer teaching people how to clinch. I'm not saying you can't be a douchebag. When like we'll totally rabbit punch you, and like you'll get the headgear and the gloves and all that stuff, but we did it with MMA gloves, and you just got kind of just dabbed in the face basically. But you're not able to wind up, you're not able to step into them, and also you're not in a position where like your head's really gonna get rocked. Pretty much none of these skills you're ever gonna want to use in the street. That's why I don't like, if you're gonna go through this trouble and you want aggression trait, let them wrestle. I think wrestling would be a great tool for that. Can be just as aggressive. I could open hand strike the hell out of you. I'm fine with that. But like the idea of close-fisted punching somebody is a good way to break a hand without this. And it creates, I think, this false sense of when you want to get aggressive or like shit hits the fan on you, that you just square up, as opposed to like go hands on or whatever. It's teaching a very bad precedent. But I do think for people that have never experienced, like if you've never played soccer, if you've never played football, if you never, even basketball to a certain degree, if you've never played a contact sport, this is a good exercise to get that out of your system because it is uncomfortable the first couple times you do it. But once you're used to it, it's fine. Yeah, like this is just, straight boxing. What did he learn? He learned how to get knocked out.
He sucks at boxing.
Yeah. Clinch. I would just clinch him every time.
Yeah, because also, like, none of this is good technique.
Yeah, high injury. Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, high injury, no learning.
God awful footwork.
Yeah, this is you're not. I get the aggression part, but like, for the amount of injury you're likely going to get, you can only fight within weight class. Really, when you're boxing, height and weight class is like terrifying. Like unless you have a lot of skill with it. But Josh and Brandon boxing match, I would fight somebody in a boxing match. I'm heavy, so I'm pretty lucky that the worst they can do is cut my face with gloves on. But I need to do a lot more cardio if I was going to box. That's the one exhausting thing about this is it's all cardio. Yeah, what did he learn? What is he learning? Nothing. How to box poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd much prefer to see, at the very minimum, wrestling. There's also another thing I'll kind of point out here is they're boxing in duty gear, right? No vest. No, it's like all these other components where like you have to work around that they're currently not wearing. So that's not terribly. This is it's going to add a lot of training scars, or just a waste of really taxpayer money. I'm making them work on something they're never going to use, which a lot of people would say about shooting. Literally, the same argument actually does apply to shooting. But you're less legally liable if you screw this up. But anyways, press the like button if you haven't done it already. I appreciate it. Who is this? State Patrol?
We just barely reached 110.
Oh, did we really? Right now?
Yeah, just now.
Look at chat. Here you go.
Literally, Abby goes, one more like. He goes, yo, let's go.
Let's go. Perfect. Well, there you go. We will be doing a regularly scheduled Thursday stream. I will give you guys a little bit of an after party. So we'll go play, what is it? Not the Escapists. It's the Headliners, which is a blast. So I'll play that with a couple of you guys for a little bit. But Thursday, I'll probably start it closer to 6. I might either bump it to 7 or 6:30 because I can't do the after party because I have to drive to Houston afterwards. But you are getting Thursday stream. We will promise that. And hopefully if the copyright gods will smile on us, we should be getting an episode here soon. I know you guys have been chomping at the bit to get them, but there is a backlog issue with copyright claims and demonetization.
Also, this next episode is 2 hours long.
Oh, is it really? Which one is it?
Yes. It's the season 1, episode 20.
Oh, is that the...
I thought, when I started editing it, I thought, this is a 2-episode. So I was like, oh, okay, that's why it's a little long. It's 1 episode, and then we got another one right after it.
Wow.
That's another hour and 30. So y'all are going to eat real good, but cut me some slack.
So the are they both rookie episodes, or we're doing rookie and on-call?
There's one rookie first, then we're doing on-call, then we're going back to rookie, then we're doing another on-call.
Based. And
there's probably going to be some Southland sprinkled in there as bonus episodes.
Very cool. Anyways, we're going to get some more filming hopefully soon. Bill's upload schedule is a real pain in the ass, so that's a little more complicated since he's still doing this remotely. But we do have a process that we're working out that's making it a little bit easier. And then kind of like I said, on the back end, as far as officers react, there's always that wild card about it getting demonetized, which greatly hurts performance for the amount of work we're putting into them. We'd like for them to actually get impressions. But the best way, obviously, you guys can help if you're new here. Go ahead and subscribe. Drop a like on these type of publications, and then you can always join directly through a membership here or through Patreon for as little as $1 a month, where you guys can get fun stuff like story time. But until then, I will see the rest of you guys on the Discord. And then for everybody else, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.